Whoops, don't do that. Welcome in, y'all. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. Ramsey's in the building. What's up, Ramsey? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. How are we feeling today, y'all? Welcome into the stream. I appreciate y'all stopping in today. Hopefully we'll be in for a good amount of time today. Coach Mish, thanks for tapping in. Foolhardy, welcome in. Is it Fowles? Am I saying that correctly? Thank you so much for joining the stream. I appreciate you being here. How y'all feeling today? Wave Hearts in the building. Is it Gumi? Am I saying that correctly? Thank you so much for tapping into the stream. Welcome in, y'all. If y'all are joining for the first time on any of the platforms that we're live on right now, let me know where you're joining from. If you make music, let me know what kind of music you make. Let's catch up. Let's talk a little bit. We'll chill for a second, and then of course we'll get into some music a little bit later on down the road. Pavlo, welcome in. Carrie M is in the building. Carrie, I hope you're doing fantastic today. Brett, I appreciate you joining the stream. Jinx, welcome in. If y'all are over on TikTok as well, make sure you're tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people. Don't forget to send your heart me for the day. It does really help out the live stream quite a bit. I really appreciate y'all being here. We'll get flowing with some stuff here in just a little bit. But first, I want to catch up with y'all. I want to meet a few of y'all, talk to y'all for a little bit, talk to y'all about what you do. So if y'all are coming in, once again, let me know where you're joining from, as well as if you make music, what kind of music you make, and we'll hopefully we can get into some chats here as well. Robert, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Hope you're doing amazing today. Gyasi, welcome in. From Florida, welcome in, Jinx. Welcome from Florida. I appreciate you being here. Oh, Florida. I thought that was like some Italy. I thought it was in Italy or something like that, like Florence or something. Florida makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. But thank you for tapping in. I was like, shout out to Florida, wherever Florida is. Florida sounds vibey. Florida sounds like a place I need to be right now. Jinx is in Florida. I appreciate you joining the stream, man. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Let me double check a few things here, but as we get rolling, make sure you're tapping the screen, share it the live with a few people, and we'll get into some stuff here in just a moment. I do need to get a couple things updated before we get rolling here. MMP Services, welcome in. Welcome to the live stream. I appreciate you being here. How you feeling today? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Da, 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 da. Osuso, welcome in. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate you being here. GP in A, welcome in. Let me double check a few things before we get rolling here, y'all. Let's see what's going on with TikTok right now. What is going on with TikTok right now? Jinx, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate you a lot. I'm a DJ and music producer. Let's go. Keenan, welcome in. How long have you been doing that? How long have you been DJing / producing? That's amazing. Do you do like sets publicly, or just do kind of mixes and sessions and stuff like that on your own? Or are you actually like doing clubs and venues and festivals and stuff like that? Papa Courtney, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Francesco, welcome in as well. I appreciate y'all joining the stream. Let me know where y'all are joining from. Let me know if you make music, what kind of music you make. I need to double check a few things here, because I got to make sure this is working over here. I appreciate y'all joining in. Courtney, good to see you. Thank you so much. Is it Anthike? Am I saying that correctly? Thank you for the rose. I really appreciate that. Raid's in the building. What's up, Raid? Let me switch over here real quick. Let me double check a few things. I hope y'all are doing fantastic today. Let me get all this organized here before we get rolling. Francis, appreciate you being here. Welcome in, welcome in. Billions in the building. I make Afro gospel and from Nigeria. Welcome in from Nigeria. I appreciate you being here. Bree Squared is back in the building. What's up, Bree Squared? Welcome in. Hey, I got your name right. Yes, yes. I do my best. I can sometimes be pretty terrible with names, or I'll butcher it. I'm like, hey, please correct me. Please correct me. I don't want to say people's names wrong. I want to show all due respect to y'all's names as well. So I'm so incredibly glad that I got your name correctly. Yes, you can submit music, Courtney. 100%. Give me just 2 minutes here, and then I'll explain the whole structure of the live stream. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. I'll explain the live stream in a second. I'll let y'all know where to submit. Oh, Jesus, hold on. This is super loud. Let me see what's going on here. And let me get this plugged in as well. Nicole Gray is in the building. Thank you for the rose as well. I appreciate you a lot. There's my charger. There's my charger. Nicole, I hope you're doing amazing. Welcome in. 20 years off and on, I have spun everything but festivals. That's 20 years. That's amazing. That's some longevity in the craft. That's amazing, Jinx. Props to you, man. All respect to that. Safi, welcome in. I appreciate you being here, Safi. Give me just a minute, y'all. I'm gonna update everything that I have here, and we're gonna get flowing with the music here in just a moment. Just give me a minute. Make sure y'all are tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people. Don't forget to send your heart me. It does really help out the live stream quite a bit. Meeks, you welcome in as well. We just did more studio work today. Thank you so much for the vocal suggestions. It sounds so good. I'm so glad to hear it. Very, very glad to hear it. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are amazing. Okay. No, you don't send it in the chat. Give me just 30 seconds, and then I'll explain the live stream, and then I'll explain the structure of what we do here, because it is a little bit different here at Track Talk, the structure of what we do. It's long, it's detailed, it's really, really analytical, very in-depth. So give me just one moment, get a couple things refreshed here and reorganized, and then I'll explain the whole live stream, and we'll dive into some music today. I'm excited. The Dawn is in the building. Mr. Hammer, welcome in as well. Andrew's in the building. Andrew, welcome in. It's good to see you as well. Okay, give me 2 minutes. I think I've got this updated. Oh yeah, I got to clear a couple things. Give me a second. Give me just like 30 seconds, y'all, and then I'm just getting the line and everything updated from the last time. I wasn't able to get on live yesterday because I was finishing up a mix. I just wanted to focus on that. Sometimes it's hard to focus when I'm switching back and forth between a couple different things. Thank you for the shares, Billy, and I appreciate you. I'm going to get these moved to previous, and then we will be ready to go. Ready to go. Let's see. Okay, I think we are good. I think we're ready to go. Second live, welcome in. All right, y'all. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate y'all tapping in today. I appreciate y'all being here. I'm breaking stuff over here. We're gonna get into some music. Joseph, welcome in. I appreciate you tapping into the stream. We're gonna get into some music. So let me go ahead and explain the structure of the live stream. I do the spiel every time. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that a lot. I do the spiel every time so the people who are new to the community can understand the structure of what we do here, and kind of what sets the stream apart in the structure of what we do here. So for those of you who have never been here before, welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the family. I appreciate y'all being here. What we do here at Track Talk are 20 to 30 minute multiple listen consultations on the structure of your music. We're going to spend those 20 to 30 minutes and the 2 to 3 different times that we listen to your song to really dive into the details of your mix and master, production elements, sound design choices, lyric and song formatting, and structure. We're going to get into the details and the nuances of what you're doing creatively and practically. So we're really going to go deep. It's a very analytical space. We're going to spend a lot of time, like I said, 20 to 30 minutes breaking down your song, your instrumental, if you're a producer, your songwriting, whatever it may be. You're going to hear everything from voice memos from some people that are very, very fresh to Grammy-winning musicians. It's all the way across the board, any level, any genre, any style, any language, and any level of quality. This is not a quick review. There is no trash or pass. There's no ratings. There's no polls. This is strictly a detailed, long-form breakdown to make sure that we are getting into the details of what you're doing within the structure of your music. For those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. That is what I do for a living. I've done that for the last 14 plus years. I'm also a classically trained musician. So the structure of this live stream is pointed in that direction. I am not here, and I say this every time, this is the spiel I give every time to hopefully bring some clarity to what we do. I am not here to hype you up. I am not here to give you exposure. If that happens, happens, if the algorithm takes off, which sometimes it does, then fantastic. I hope you gain new fans, and I hope you get a lot of incredible people supporting what you're doing. It is just not my priority. It's not the way that I have structured this live stream to do so. The structure of this live stream also is not to roast you. I'm not here to trash you. I'm not here to tear you down. I'm here to offer some feedback, hopefully some specific, professional, practical, and actionable feedback on the structure of your music. So, like I said, 20 to 30 minutes per song that we get into. We're going to listen to a track 2 to 3 different times and really get into those details. So if that sounds interesting to you, if that would be valuable to you, D-Busy, welcome in. Then if you want to submit your music, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. All of the details are right there. If you do follow both steps, I'll get notified and you'll be up on the board ready to go. If you're on any of the other platforms and you would like to submit, if you're on the purple app, which we're live on right now, you can type !submit in the chat. If you're on the red app, YT, then you can go to the description of the live stream and you'll see the same link right there. If you would like to see the line order minimums throughout the course of the live stream, they are on the other platforms that we are live on, the red and purple app, which you can also find at my link as well. I am Groot is in the building. Andrew, it's so good to see you, man. I appreciate you a lot. Is it Cora Keo? I appreciate you tapping in. Hello, I appreciate you joining the stream. Do you listen to deathcore genre? Yeah, absolutely. I would say almost nearly every single live stream we get some heavier metal, progressive metal, deathcore, stuff like that. We usually always have like 1 or 2 people that are submitting in that same space right there. That's crazy. That's crazy. Agreed. Nicole, I appreciate you so much. Bree, I appreciate you so much as well. Thank you for the love. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Retrack. That's wild work. That's wild work. Okay, let me get a couple things organized. But once again, if you would like to submit your music, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there, and we'll get you up on the board, ready to go. While we're waiting to get, I can't talk, y'all. It's the hard thing about doing these live streams at the end of the day after I've already finished like all of my work for the day is my brain is already kind of mush. And I find it kind of challenging to sometimes think straight, but somehow Kiki, welcome in. Somehow I still feel like I'm able to give some level of value and think somewhat straight. But man, I've been mixing all day. I've worked on another production today. It's a really detailed production I'm working on right now, and then finished a mix. So as my brain is already it's already a little fuzzy, but hopefully we're doing all right. Retrack is in the building. What's up, Retrack? Thank you for the mute. And also, I appreciate you so much, man. It's good to see you in here. Quick reminder, Retrack, you do have 10 if you feel like using it. There's no pressure. I don't know if you've been working on anything fresh. Just want you to know for your help the 2 days ago, I got you another 10 over there as well, man. I appreciate you a lot. You're always so wildly helpful anytime that you have the chance to come in. So I appreciate it a lot. Okay. Let me get a couple things moving here. Sounds good, man. Just letting you know that it's there for you. Got 10 waiting for you. Son of Moses is in a building. Moses. Why does that remind me of, what is it? Prince of Egypt. I always remember anytime I'm like, Moses, whatever. I feel like my brain's all over the place, but why is that reminding me of Prince of Egypt? Odin's, I appreciate you tapping in. Mandy is in the building. What's up, Mandy? And Mila Sada, thank you for tapping in as well. Great soundtrack. Shout out to Hans Zimmer. Shout out to Hans Zimmer. Also, if y'all haven't heard it already, Ray's new track with Hans Zimmer is something. Is it Click Clack Symphony? Something like that. That's a record. That's a record right there. Ray's on fire right now. Ray is absolutely on fire. That is a record right there. What a production, man. That inspired me like crazy. Man, I'm not doing enough. I'm not challenging myself enough. Anytime you hear a production like that, it makes you want to do something a little bit different. Love Prince of Hans Zimmer. Yeah, Hans Zimmer's he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Yeah. If you haven't heard it already, check out Ray's new track. With it's featuring Hans Zimmer, which is a crazy feature. Who's out there featuring Hans Zimmer? It's a great production. Do you listen to AI demos? I'm a songwriter, but I have only used to put them together now. Yes, we do. The thing that I always ask people, Mandy, and I appreciate the question. I appreciate you tapping in. The thing that I always let people know is, please let me know how I can be of value to you, how I can help you, how I can serve you, how I can make sure that you're getting what you need out of these. These are really detailed consultations. They're very long form. We listen to your track 2 or 3 different times. We spend about 20 to 30 minutes breaking it down, so on and so on. And so like that's the whole structure of this. I just want to make sure, right? Because obviously typically if someone's coming in as a session musician, an artist, a vocalist, a producer who's building all those tracks themselves, we can talk maybe a little bit more specifically about mix structure, positioning, gain staging. They're trying to learn compression, whatever, and we can kind of teach that and walk through that with the artist itself, or with the artists themselves. And so when it comes to AI stuff, I'm willing to listen to it. And we get people that send in AI all the time. There's no hard stop on it or anything like that. I just want to make sure I'm valuable. That's the whole structure of the stream, is to be, incredibly in-depth and incredibly valuable. So whether that's talking about songwriting structure, lyrics, melody consistency, repetition, pattern recognition in your song, stuff like that, definitely willing to break down those elements. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. But yeah, so if anybody wants to submit, you can, any genre, any style, any way of creating, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. Matt Finnegan, thank you for tapping in. Yep, go to my profile, click on the link, read through and follow the details there, and we'll get you up on the board. If you want to see the line, order minimum, stuff like that, Peter Falcon, thank you for the follow. If you want to see the line, it's on the other platforms that we're live on, which you can also find at my link as well. Scott B, welcome into the stream. All right. Any kind. Yes, these are different than a review, though. These are going to be about 30 minutes apiece. So we do long form consultations. So we are going to break down your song. That's, the crux of it is correct. We are going to break down your song. We are going to listen to your track for usually 20 to 30 minutes, a couple times through that track in order to really get into the details of what you're doing on the production side, getting into the details of what you're doing on the mix and master, sound design structure, choices within your lyricism, your song structure, stuff like that. So it's not like a really quick review. It typically is about 20 to 30 minutes long, multiple listens per track that gets sent in. So we can really get into those details. Retrack, thank you so much for the heart me. Dan the Band, it's good to see you, man. I hope you're doing absolutely fabulous today. If anybody wants to submit, don't send it in the chat right here. Go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. Krista's in the building, and she sent a heart me. Thank you for the heart me. Let me get you up on the board, Krista. Let me get you up on the board. I have you, I think, right here. Hold on. Yep, I do. And I got you with that extra 5 as well. Dan the Man, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate you, brother. Hope you're doing amazing today. Krista, let me get you back up there. I got you. I am, Kat. I am listening to music. We are doing consultations for artists. So we do these after I finish my work for the day. I've been working on a mix today that finally got finished up. It started another production today, and then we get on at the end of the day for a couple hours and do some consultations for artists, producers, musicians, songwriters, whatever it may be. And so if people want to send in, we'll listen to their track for 20 to 30 minutes. We'll go through it a couple times. We'll break down mix, production, sound design. We'll get into the structure of your lyrics, production choices, stuff like that. If that would be helpful for you, if that would be something that you're interested in, of course, feel free to hang out in the chat for a little bit, see what we're all about. We'll get into a couple of breakdowns here in just a moment. And then, of course, if anybody here does want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and get yourself up on the board. You can just read through and follow all the steps. You talk too fast. I can't understand fully. I'm sorry. I do talk very fast, and I've tried to slow down, and it unfortunately doesn't work. It unfortunately doesn't work. My brain moves very, very fast. And so does the mouth. So I will do my best to slow it down, but I don't know. I have tried. People keep telling me I talk fast. I know I do, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about it. It's my brain does what my brain does. Okay, Krista, let me know if you're in the chat really quick. Krista, if you are in the chat, if you wouldn't mind resending. Just listening slow. I mean, I get it. Like, I mean, I know I talk fast. I know. And also there's a lot of okay. Well, I'm so glad you're here, Kat. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being patient with me as well. I know I talk super fast. I try to slow down. I do try to slow down because I want people to understand. I want people to I want people to be able to, comprehend what I'm talking about, especially when we're talking about music. I really do. I really do want to. So thank you for saying it. I get at least probably 5 messages a live stream. They're like, dude, slow the hell down. What are you doing? Yes, Krista, if you wouldn't mind resending just so I can get it at the top of my email. That way I can pull it up quickly instead of having to like search through the emails and stuff like that. And then we might kick it off with you today. We'll see. C. Sierra, thank you for tapping in as well. I appreciate you being here. If anybody would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, just read through and follow the details there. Aloma Board, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Kason, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. When the fire is done in the green. Yeah, Kason, if you would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details. Dan said we have to have you talk to a click track. I need like 75 BPM. Hold on. What would that even look? Hold on. This is already a 76 BPM. Just like a minute. I'm just waiting for a new email to come in, and then we'll kickstart the music. I don't even know. I can't do it. That's stressing my ADHD out. I can't do it. Dan. I tried. I tried for about half a second. My brain said, "Fuck you. What are you doing?" I couldn't do it. I started hearing the click track and I said, nope. My brain just got immediately so stressed. I was like, my heart rate, I got anxious. It was crazy. It was a crazy moment I just had right there. 200. If we go to 200 BPM, I can probably match it and then we'll lock in. Alan, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Paul is in the building and he has a song released on Friday. Let's go. That is true. I do make records at any tempo. That is true. I mean, in fact, I'm working on an 80s record right now that's like super. Oh, it actually has. And there's no BPM. I did change the BPM to 114. It's a little bit faster. That's nice for me. I like that. I listen to any music, Alan, any genre, any language, any level of preparedness, any level of quality. Literally, the last time we went live, we had people that had finished, polished, amazing records, and people that at the last live we had someone send in a voice memo of them singing and playing guitar, so we could help them build song structure around what they're doing. That is kind of the structure of what we do. So any genre, any level of preparedness, any level of quality. If y'all do want to submit, if anybody wants to submit, we're about to get in our first track. I believe it's going to be Krista today. We're going to get into our first track. Krista, I got you. If you do want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow the details. If you do, I'll get notified, and we'll get you up on the board, ready to go. Sly is in the building. Thank you, Sly. I appreciate you tapping in. Your reels where you show off your stuff is great. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you a lot, man. I love what you do as well. Dan is another, phenomenal pianist, synthesist, musician, professional in the industry. Really appreciate what you do. So y'all tap in with Dan as well. He goes live. I haven't had a chance to tap in. I haven't been in there, but I see it all the time when I'm swiping through or getting ready to post and stuff like that. He talks about the music biz, stuff like that. So if you need information on that, tap in with Dan. All right, musician from Ghana, welcome in, Sly Muse. I really appreciate you being here. I hope you're doing amazing today. Okay, give me 2 seconds. Let me get a couple things refreshed over here, and then we're going to dive into some music. Once again, all the details are at my profile. If you click on the link, read through the details, you'll be ready to go. If you're on the other platforms that we're live on right now as well, let's say you're on the Purple app, which you can also see the line over there, you can type !submit right there in the chat to submit. If you are on the Red app, YT, then you can also go to the description for the live stream and submit there as well. Nocturne is in the building. Helios is in the building. The family is in here. Palitos, welcome in. Is there a free option to submit? No, this is a paid service. There is no free option. It's not like a free review and then a 5 skip or anything like that. It is a I would say most often 25 to 30 minute consultation, long form, multiple listens. So there is no free line or anything like that. Okay, let me double check a few things. Krista, we are going to kick it off with you, Krista. Let's get into it. It's time for some music. I got your updated email right here. Latitude Studio South is in the building. Welcome in, Latitude. I hope you're doing fantastic today. It's good to see y'all in here as well. Krista, don't be nervous. I'm excited to finally get into it. I know it's been like a week since you submitted, so I'm grateful for your patience. I'm grateful for you just giving this live a chance and this community a chance. I really appreciate it. I've joined your fan club for 2 months. Nocturne, let's go. Shout out to Nocturne. I appreciate you so much. Shanice, good night. I hope you're doing amazing. I don't know if that good night is goodbye and you're sleeping, or if you're just saying good night because you're showing up at night, but welcome in. I'm so glad that you're here. Let's get into some music, y'all. Let's get into some music. So this is Krista. This is called I Just joined. Okay, perfect. I don't know if you were like, hey, and goodbye, and we're out. But I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you stopping by. Sorry in advance for my brain today, y'all. It's all over the place. Okay. Marley, welcome in. Mario, welcome in. I appreciate y'all joining. If y'all are over on TikTok, keep tapping the screen. Share out the live with a few people. Don't forget to send your heart me. It really does help out the live stream. Time Mind is in the building. What's up, Time Mind? I hope you're having a beautiful day. This is Krista right here in the chat. So, Krista, I have this quick little email in front of me, but please let me know. Let me see. Where are you from, Shanice? Let me know where you're from. Torvik perfume drop when I need I don't know. I need a few more, sync placements before that happens. Retrack, thank you for the roses. I appreciate you. Welcome in from Trinidad. I'm so glad you're here. I appreciate you stopping by the live stream. All right, this is Krista right here in the chat. The song is called I Evolved. This is what she says in the email. I don't sing, but I'm looking for a vocalist. Everything else is me. Grammy when? I gotta get around there. Here's the thing. I work time I know it's kind of a joke, but JP Doyle, thank you for the follow. I know it's kind of a joke. I work so independently right now that it's like not even an option, right? Like every single client of mine that I have is very, very like isolated in the group that I'm kind of, connected in. If you're to get in the world of Grammy, in fact, Dan was here a moment ago. I don't know if he's still in here. He's a Grammy nominated musician. Being a part of that Grammy realm is 95% about who you're connected with. It's so much to do about the place that you're in, who you're connected with, what your network is, being in the right place at the right time. Became a title gifter for the first time. Retrack. I love and appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Ironically, one of the Grammy voting people is on here. Is that you, Time Mind? Are you a part of the Academy, Time Mind? I know a couple people. I know a couple people who are a part of the Academy. Not you. Are you talking about Dan? Or someone else? Someone else. Dan the man. No? Who? Hold on, who? Who am I missing? Who am I missing? Okay. Oh, yeah. No, oh no, yeah, I know Will. I thought you were talking about in the live stream right now. I was like, what? Who did I miss? What's up, G? What's up, K? We got letters in the chat today. G and K, welcome into the stream. I appreciate you being here. Milo Manheim, I'm not positive who that is. But I'll have to look it up. I hope it's not a bad thing. Okay, Krista, let's get into it. So, Krista, you said everything else is you, so let's listen to the structure here, and let's get into it. If there's any other information that you would like me to have, Krista, let me know. And keep in mind, y'all, that Krista is currently looking for vocalists. So I think the vocalist that's on here, I'm pretty sure is generated. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they're looking for vocalists. They do want to have a vocalist on their track. G, if you want to send in, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the steps there. If I submit another song, we review it in the movie trailer voice you just say. I can. I can. It's time. Yeah, Grammys is great, but I don't think it's reflective of ability. 100%. I quite literally have seen Dan, and many other people can attest to this. I have like watched people and followed people and even been close to people that, work in the industry. There's a guy that I like followed closely. I talked to him a little bit, but I had followed closely a couple years ago. He worked at, he won a Grammy, and just still worked at Subway. Like he made a loop that was in the background of something, and they used that in here. And this part, this person got connected to this person. They brought him into the studio, and he worked kind of as a runner with this stuff. Next thing you know, this guy, he's got a Grammy. But he made like a random like trap loop, and sold it to some producer. That producer got it, and whatever. Then they got connected, and they're quite literally just like working a Subway. Nothing wrong with that. Right? But like that's it. Like I think that to me is like a good representation of like, yeah, the Grammy's not it. It is obviously a testament to positioning, network connection, to some level of skill, to some extent. But I know people that they're not the most skilled. They're not, but they're connected. They know the right people. I know there's a client that I'm working with right now who one of their really close friends works, with the Grammy community, the Grammy committees, and they're working in the background with all these artists, and they're like, hey, we could probably try to facilitate a track that does this thing and get in this movie, whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's a lot of it's just politics. You know what I mean? Like a lot of it's just politics, and that's, That doesn't mean that it's specifically a negative thing, and it doesn't mean that it's not like worthwhile to pursue. Obviously, it does give you some credibility. It does give you a lot of exposure as someone who's wanting to build a business in the music industry. Obviously, having the Billboard and having the chart and having the iTunes over here and having the this over here and this connection, that does a lot it does a lot for your credibility, but it doesn't equate to just like skill and knowledge and ability to actually like serve the product that people are looking for. They aren't rigged in my opinion. They are popularity content. Yeah. I would agree. I think that's a good way of putting it, Dan. That's a good way. It's not like predetermined in the way that people say rigged, where they're like, it's inevitable that this person wins every single time. I wouldn't say that's the case. And this also is probably a little bit more specific, Grammy to Grammy, right? Because there's some niche Grammys in there. You know what I mean? Like there's some stuff in the background that like for you to say they're rigged would be kind of weird, right? Like if you're doing like, I don't even know, Dan would know some of them better, but there's some like really niche ones. There's some really niche ones where it's like, best Western song in an indie film and it's a Grammy or what, I don't know. It's like stuff like that. And you're like, okay, who rigged that one? You're like, who rigged best Western song in an indie Christian film? I don't know who's rigging that, but that's not a Grammy, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying, where there's a lot of nuance to it. Obviously it is a huge popularity. I don't know if we're talking about this right now, but anyways, it's a huge popularity contest when it comes to like album of the year, artist of the year, like these huge line records right there. That's going to be a little bit different. That's going to be a little bit different. Wanting to pitch my songs to country artists, not sure where to start. I mean, for one, you got to start. I don't know. I haven't seen your page, but you got to show people what you do. I say this all the time. I said it the last time we were live. Nothing beats showing people what you do. So if you want to pitch to artists and they can't see that you do what you do very well all the time, then people won't connect with you. One of the reasons why I have like a full-time job in music at all is because I'm constantly every single day showing people what I do, the skills that I have and stuff like that. So I would make sure that you're showing people what you do. Dochi keeps moving. Stop. Dochi's producer was going to Amazon in the middle of his. He found out he was Grammy nominated. Yep. No, that's so many people's story. So many people's story. City Street Music, welcome in. I hope you're doing amazing. I'd even argue reggae category is donated by Marley's because of the name. Dominated by Marley's because of the name. Yep. It happens. It happens. All right, y'all, let's get into some music. We got Krista in the building. Let's run it. It's time to get into some music. We got I Evolved by Krista. Once again, I believe it's Krista's production though, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Krista. It's your production. Best score soundtrack for video games and other interactive media, best Grammy category. Okay, so this is Krista's production. The vocal is generated. Just for y'all to keep that in mind. They are looking for vocalists. If you like what you hear on the production side, definitely reach out to Krista.
You walked in low with your dollar store halo, acting like a king, but you're fake.
Talk to me about the production. What are you producing on?
Every baby from your lips was a setup. Every promise just another damn let up. You lit the match, then ran from the fire. Called it love, but you're just a liar. Should've
JT,
seen
welcome in.
Before your fall, you said forever didn't mean shit at all. You twist the truth cause you're scared of mine. Breaking hearts like it's your fucking pastime. But I'm not your damage, not your doll.
Veronica, welcome in.
You love bomb me just to drop me. Lifting me high just to see me fall. Fed me breadcrumbs like I begged for. Left me starving while you stood tall. Lay me my bitch with your venom spit swagger. Couldn't keep a promise but your lies got louder. You tried to shatter me, tried to leave me stalled. But guess what, bitch, I didn't break. I evolved. I evolved. I evolved. You're a red flag playlist with no damn rhythm. Every line practice, nothing real in them. Play the hero when you wanna
the
be
vocals
story.
AI. Vocals
Let every
AI.
chapter scream borrow glory. You said I love you like it cost you nothing, but truth is, baby, you were never worth trusting.
I'm kind of interested in the production here.
You live girls up just to watch them cry. You twist the truth cause you fear the end. Losing control's your only trend, but I'm not your heartbreak protocol. Watch me rise while you fucking crawl. You love bomb me just to drop me, lifting me high just to see me fall. Fed me breadcrumbs.
Thank you for the follow, Oscar. I appreciate it.
Left me swagger. Couldn't keep a promise.
Let me know who
tryna
just
shatter
submitted
me,
through the
try to
website as well,
leave
really quick.
but guess what, bitch?
Is
I
that you,
didn't
Bree?
break. I evolved. I evolved. I evolved. No more midnight crying on the bathroom floor. No
That's you,
more
Ricks.
letting
Got you.
rewrite
Got you,
my
got you.
war. I survived every hit
I appreciate you so much.
Now I'm stronger than the hell you put me through. You don't deserve the heart you wrecked. Don't deserve the love you still expect. I'm the storm you tried to outrun. Look at you now, you're the undone. You love bombed me just to drop me, lifted me high just to see me fall. Fed me breadcrumbs like I'd break for it. Left me starving while you stood tall.
Thank you for the follow.
Lame-ass bitch with your venom spit swagger. All bark, no bite, just ego and chatter. You try to ruin me, try to keep me small, but guess what, bitch? I didn't break, I didn't crawl. Bitch, I evolved. I evolved.
Okay, let's break it down. Shout out to Krista. Krista, thank you so much for sending this. I got some questions. I got some questions really quick. So, just based on what I'm hearing, the gut reactions, I can be wrong, and we can talk about it, and we can break it down a little bit more. But I'll have some questions. Obviously, we know that the vocal is generated, right? We already know that because you're looking for a vocalist on it currently. Let me see. The production, just based on what I'm hearing, sounds generated too. You said I think you said your brother produced it, right? I think you said your brother produced it. The production also sounds generated. One of the reasons why, obviously, this is a rock genre, some typically organic instrumentation in here. There's kind of two to three things, right? 2 to 3 things that to me are kind of the tell of that. One would be instrument blending. This happens with AI all the time. Instrument blending, where the bass becomes the guitar, that becomes an organ, that becomes a synth, and it all mushes together until one jumps out and then comes back into the mix, right? That kind of blends together. The other would be quantization and tuning. So the other side on the instrumentation, you have like auto-tuned quantized lead electric guitars that also have a lot of the blending in there. So let me see. Mr. Moose, thank you. I appreciate you. You're very kind. Yeah, that's what I'm listening for. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. My brother and dad run it through something I write. My brother and then my dad, it's something they go back and add instrument at a time. I'm not versed. Okay, so I think are they like, and again, are they like musicians? Like, do they have a wall of guitars and options and amps and recording software and stuff like that? Like, anyways, that's kind of what I'm listening for. So just gut reaction. And again, we're not even here to necessarily talk about this part of it. I want to break down the structure of it. I think that's the most important part. My dad plays guitar and drums, my mom piano. Okay. Because the structure of this sounds generated as well. This can also happen where people play stuff. Of course, Gamma, I'll do it. I'm in between some consultations, but I'll do my best to kind of answer in between some stuff. This happens as well where people do play guitar and then they run it through Suno, but it completely builds it from scratch. Like Suno doesn't really edit. It kind of takes in, breaks it down and builds it from scratch in the image of what you sent in, right? So when it comes to doing stuff like that, you might also just be running into some issues of them like, hey, we played this guitar and we played these, or we sampled these drums and we, added this VST. We didn't have the ability or the capacity to finish out the rest. So they ran it through something and it pumped this out. Because what I'm hearing on this side is like overly shimmery, perfected, aliased, like auto-tuned guitars, perfectly quantized everything, which it's usually like a telltale sign of AI. Obviously, we already know about the vocals, so that's why I was curious, because on both sides of it, I think is, I want to make sure that we're like listening to the right stuff in here. Okay. Let me see. If you want to send in, go to my profile. click on the link and then just read through and follow the details there. I guess I'm more concerned about the lyrics. Are they good enough? Okay, yeah. So then let's focus on following the lyric. That's what I think, because I was listening for the production structure too, and I was like, I think it's the same as the vocal. So that's why I was just asking so I could get clarity on that side, and then we'll break down the lyrics. Do you think it's a good price for someone who is starting, asking 30 euros for the service? Wait, can I ask you about mixing and mastering? Oh, so you're asking, Gamma, you're asking if I'm assuming you're starting out as an engineer. Am I reading through that correctly? And I'm going to start the song again. You're starting out as an engineer and you're wondering if 30 euros is a good starting point for you. Is that the question? Yeah. And if that doesn't matter to you, then I don't want you to worry about it. Let's focus on lyric structure here, because there are a couple things I think we can kind of morph and edit and polish a little bit as far as like phrasing goes. That's something that generated stuff's not, even if you pump in lyrics, it's not good at doing. It'll like rush a lyric and then slow down a lyric and then rush another lyric, fill in these syllable gaps that don't really make sense. If it's even good to have someone sing, I'm not sure. I started writing after dating after widowhood. I'm sorry to hear that, Krista. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, let's get into it. We got you. That's what we're here for.
You walked in loud with your dollar store halo, acting like a king, but you're fake and it's fatal. Every baby from your lips was a setup. Every promise just another damn let up. You lit the match, then ran from the fire. Called it love, but you're just a liar. Should've seen the cracks before you fall. You said forever, didn't mean shit at all. You twist the truth cause you're scared of mine. Breaking hearts like it's your fucking pastime, but I'm not your damage, not.
Hey, that's valid. That's valid, Stitch. That's a valid expense right there. And back it up. I was ending with the vocal effect in the intro. It's just a filter. So it's a high cut and a low cut, kind of squished together, give you kind of this like telephone effect. If I, just to kind of give you an example, if I were to like pull, well, I'm not going to do it right now because it's going to butcher my whole vocal. But anyways, I can show it another time. But yeah, it's just, you're pushing like probably two or three strands kind of mid frequency, and then you're filtering the top and filtering the bottom, so it makes it sound kind of like a telephone effect or something. So something similar to that. Okay, let me get into these lyric structures here.
Shit at all. You twist the truth cause you're scared of mine. Breaking hearts like it's your fucking pastime, but I'm not your damn.
So there's again a couple lines in here, da 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 da, and then they have, again, you get this kind of rushed phrasing right there, and this da effing pastime, little stuff like that. That, to me, the introduction of that lyric, the way that it has to be rushed to fit the syllable count, syllable count. That's where it feels cheesy to me, because then there's a lot of emphasis on that lyric structure because it has to be rushed and has to fit the syllable counts right there. So I would get these a little bit more consistent in phrasing. Da 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 da. That's a lot smoother. It's easier to sing. It's easier to latch onto. It's easier to connect to, as opposed to you know what I mean? Like these random fast lyrics that kind of cut in. That's just going to be harder to remember, harder to actually like latch onto as a listener, as a consumer, right? So even there's a couple times where stuff like that happens. I would look through the structure for those moments and clarify them and rephrase. So sometimes you can say the same thing with a slightly different order of lyrics or a slightly different structure that makes it a little bit more engaging to listen to, as opposed to like random rush lyrics like that are just going to be harder for people to remember. And it sometimes accents lyrics that make it feel a little bit, off kilter. It makes it feel a little bit imbalanced right there.
Your doll. Watch me rise while you stay small. You love bomb me just to drop me, lifting me high just to see me fall. Fed me breadcrumbs like I begged for, left me starving while you stood tall. Lay me my bitch with your venom spit swagger. Couldn't keep a promise, but your lies got louder. You tried to shatter me, tried to leave me stalled, but guess what, bitch? I didn't break. I evolved. I evolved.
And there's sometimes here, it doesn't happen more around the cuss words. Is that weird? Yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends on how the program decides to dissect what's been inputted and where it places it and stuff like that. Obviously, I have plenty. I know there's a tub, Stitch. I usually do. We do have some mods in here, and they work overtime sometimes. I have no issue. I was mad. Okay, let's get into a little bit of that. sometimes like the best way to show anger is not the thing that's most on the nose. Does that make sense? Like sometimes, like if you're like, just to give a very loose example, I'm not even going to dive too deep into the example, right? I don't want to get too much into that. But like, if you are angry at someone, just cursing at them isn't always the way to like actually showcase it. Usually, it's saying other things that are like more cutting, more specific, more poetic, that actually show how angry you are, not just being like, bitch. You know what I mean? Does that make a little bit of sense, right? So this is kind of why I'm digging into this just a little bit, because there's a lot of potential in your writing. There's a lot of potential in some of the things that we're hearing here. And then at the same time, just saying those words to me, even though I have no issue with expletives in music, right? This is not like a clean channel or whatever. Like, I have no issue with that whatsoever. I think if you're gonna do it, it has to be tasteful. It has to be additive to the song and additive to the message. If it's too on the nose, it just ends up cheesy. It just does, right? If you, it can sound, again, this isn't even anyone's vocal, right? It can just sound like a 12-year-old who just started like cussing for the first time or something, like, and you don't want it to feel like that, right? Obviously it might sound different with a different vocal on there, but you want it to feel like it's really additive, that it matters that those lyrics are in there. I think that you will get more, make me down, and I think that you would actually probably get more emotion out of what you're trying to say there if you didn't say it and you found a better way of phrasing. I think like better, deeper lyric structure with more nuance, as opposed to just bitch. You know what I mean? Like it does show some frustration, but it almost is like the cheapest way to cut through all of that. And so that's why I feel like there's a way to phrase, there's a way to portray that anger and that tension. Said, hey, you tried to cut me down, but instead of being cut down, I evolved, right? Instead of you killing me, I rose from the flames and all the other stuff, right, that we're talking about here. So that's my suggestion, right? And again, that's how you do that is up to you creatively, as far as like the lyrics that you actually use, the way that you phrase and stuff. But in this context, that, I have to be kind of careful on TikTok. It's not because I don't say these things in my normal life. It's not like super pure or something. It's just because TikTok is a little bit weird. So I try not to say too much on here, and they're like, oh, this is only for 30-year-olds or something. Anyways, so the reason why I say this too is because it is kind of the punchline, right? It's kind of like the strongest lyric in this section, right? Right here.
Guess what, bitch? I didn't break. I evolved.
It's part of like the punchline right here. And so I don't want you, thank you so much for the roses, y'all, appreciate it. I don't want you to cheapen it, because that is one of the more epic moments of the song. I don't want you to cheapen that at all. I want it to feel really, really locked in. Okay, let's move on to this second section here. So I want you to dig into rushed lyric structure, ways and moments where you need to rephrase and restructure to smooth things out, make them a little bit more connected and a little bit more cohesive. And we'll kind of move from there. So like even right there, like I don't know. You're a red flag playlist with no damn rhythm. I think the damn doesn't even have to be there, right? Like it's I think who said that earlier? Was it Breathe that said that earlier? For whatever reason, around some of the curse words or whatever, around some of those words, it rushes it, and I don't know why. I think it's trying to fit in those lyrics really fast. Like it would just be better and more pointed, and actually be more punchy to just, you're a red flag playlist with no rhythm, dun 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 dun. Like that rhythm structure has so much more drive and so much more energy to it, as opposed to da 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 da, like having to randomly speed up like one lyric in there and then none of the other rhythms match, right? Does the same thing here around, I think it's damn, right? Yeah, 5 minutes. I think the last time you came into the live, I responded to you. Did you see it the last time I came in?
There's nothing real in them. Play the hero in your wannabe story, but every chapter scream borrow glory. You said I love you like it cost you nothing, but truth is, baby, you were never worth trusting. I see the weakness behind your mask. You lift girls up just to watch them crash. You twist the truth 'cause you fear the protocol. Watch me rise while you fucking crawl. You love bomb me just to drop me, lifting.
And I think, hold on, I'm gonna go back over here.
Breaking. Watch me rise while you stay small. You love bomb me, shatter me.
Tuning the hook right here.
Try to leave me stalled, but guess what, bitch? I didn't break.
Thank you, Rich.
I evolved. I evolved. I evolved. No more midnight crying on the bathroom floor. No.
Hold on, where did my piano go? Oh, I was like, hold on, where did my piano go? All of a sudden I was like muted over here for some reason. Okay, let's get into this last section here. Rix, I appreciate you so much. Oops, wrong file. Let's go.
No more letting you rewrite my war. I survived every hit you threw. Now I'm stronger than the hell you
You
put.
can hear how each of these different, every measure, there's a different rhythm and a different melody, right? And again, kind of like we were talking about before. What's up, Ultra? Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Welcome to the live stream. Every measure and every lyric has, but yeah, it is Ultra, 100%. And that we actually already knew that before we started. So we're focusing on lyric structure because that's the thing that they're focusing on. Got you, Life. I appreciate you tapping in. Welcome in. Okay, so on this, let me see. Last section here, right? So every measure has a different melody and a different lyric structure and a different rhythm. So you don't have any of those consistent pockets in order to build that pattern recognition and build that repetition that is going to allow things to be locked in, to be catchy, to be sticky, to be gluey. I didn't make it to AGT, but Freak Bass did. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Are you gonna take another swing at it, Life Explosion? Or do you probably need some time to decide that? I know you've been going absolutely crazy with it, man. Absolutely crazy with it. All right, let me hear this last section here. So I want to make sure that these last sections here have some consistent melodic structure, some consistent repetition and rhythmic structure so that it's more memorable, it's more cohesive, and it makes a little bit more sense going through the entire song structure. If it's always changing and moving and the rhythm changes here and the melody changes here and every verse is a little bit different from the last one, parts of the hook are the same, so on and so on. But if it's always ebbing and flowing and moving and twisting and turning, then there's not enough of the song structure there for people to latch onto it, for them to remember, for them to grab onto, right? So I do really want to make sure that you get that part of it down because that is going to be one of the most important aspects of this. Gen Z, thanks for tapping in. And Giasi, thank you so much for tapping in as well. If y'all want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link. Anyone, go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow the details there. We'll get you up on the board, ready to go. All right, let's get into this last section really quick, and then we're going to move on to Rix in the building.
Just to see me
Gen Z, don't spam the chat. If you spam the chat, you'll get muted. I don't want that to happen. I want y'all to be able to collaborate and chat and speak in the chat, but don't spam. Don't spam the chat. If you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and read through and follow the details there. No, you're good. Totally good. I don't want you to get muted, then you can't talk. So just go to if you want to submit music, all of that happens at my profile.
fed me breadcrumbs like I'd break for it. Left me starving while you stood tall. Lame ass bitch with your venom spit swagger. All bark, no bite, just ego and chatter. You try to ruin me, try to keep me small, but guess what, bitch? I didn't break, I didn't cruise. Bitch, I evolved.
Just make sure you follow both steps then. Make sure you follow both steps. I don't think I have... thank you for the follow as well, Ultra. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, just make sure that you follow both steps. I only have the email, so just make sure that you actually read through everything. If you do follow both steps, I'll get notified, and then I'll get you straight up on the line. Y'all show some love, man. Show some love, show some love. I do not know Ado. I do not. Gen Z, thank you. And Mitchell, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you a lot. Miranda, welcome into the chat. I appreciate you being here. Y'all show some love to Krista right here in the chat. I appreciate you sending that in. Thank you so much for being vulnerable with your songwriting, with your structure, with your music. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, feel free to double check some of the other stuff that we're talking about as far as the generated music, if that's not something that you're clear on, because what I don't want you to get in, what I don't want you to run into is you thinking that you're getting fully produced music and then you're getting generated music and then and then trying to get another artist on your track, but then everything is generated, you're just going to run into some issues. You're going to run into licensing issues, publishing issues. You're going to run into rights issues. And I don't want you to have to deal with all of that, right? So just make sure, because I know musicians that are still generating too, like people that are talented musicians that are working on stuff like that. So I still would just double check some of those things, even if you don't care about it, just so you can make sure you have a clear understanding of like ownership of your track, ownership of what you're doing. That to me would be my very loose recommendation. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, ask them, and again, this is not necessarily about it being a pro or con thing. It's just understanding the nuances of what you're doing, the limitations of what you're doing. But what I do want everybody to know is that Krista is actively looking for vocalists for her music. That's a generated voice over that. And I think the production is too, but specifically it's a generated vocal. And Krista is looking for lead vocalists to be a part of what they're doing. So if you are a female vocal, or maybe even a male vocal, but in this case, based on this song, a female vocal, maybe you sing rock, pop, something like that, and you feel like you would fit a structure like this, then I would highly encourage you to reach out to Krista 3.0, who's right here in the chat. Follow them, send them a message. They are looking to work. Yeah, none of my sync connections can use AI. Yeah, most of the major publishers have all but blocked AI completely. So that's if you're with a major publisher or a major label, either they're trying to take ownership of it themselves, or that most of the publishers have blocked it, and or incredibly limited rights for the production versus vocal. And there's a lot going on with that right now. There's a lot of lawsuits going on with that right now. So it's just something to keep in mind. You're just, especially as a new artist, a small artist, you're just not going to get any traction for what you're doing. You're not going to get any traction. It's going to be very frustrating for people to say, I'm trying to do what everyone's doing. And then you just feel like you're locked up. It's gridlock music, and you don't want to have to deal with that. So that's why I would lock them with that and understand that with the other people as much as possible as well. The other people that are working on your music. I think you said your brother and your dad. Kirby, thank you for the follow. If you would like to submit, if anyone would like to submit, if you're over on TikTok, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through it and follow all of the details. If y'all would like to check the line, the line is up on the other platforms that we're live on. That would be the red app and purple app. You can find them at the link as well. Nana, appreciate you tapping in as well. Okay, let's keep it going. You do not submit in the chat. We don't listen to popular artists. These are for independent underground artists. Let's get it. Let's keep it moving. We've got Ricks in the building. Let's get it. And then Ricks, I think let me check spam really quick. Oh yeah, it went to spam. I don't know why it went to spam. Io, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Thank you so much for tapping in. I really appreciate you being here. This is not spam. This is Ricks. First song I fully produced. Please give notes to songwriting and production. Usually work with Fiverr. Okay, so Ricks, this is all you. This is all you. Ricks, it sent me two HTML files. So just make sure you send me like an MP3 or a WAV or a SoundCloud link or something like that. Glio, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. I'll give you a minute. Take your time. If for whatever reason it sent HTML files. We have detected inactivity during your current live. What are you talking about? Why is TikTok keep doing this? How much more active can I be? I'm talking constantly. Like, y'all. Okay, perfect. I appreciate the correction. Y'all. That makes more sense. Kirby, if it's not working for any reason, find me on IG. It's the same name. I'm Torvik everywhere. So just look up Torvik Music on IG and the link should work over there. Sometimes there's like regional issues with the app, or with the link system and stuff like that. So try it out on another platform. But yeah, if anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, read through and follow the details. And we'll get you moving in the right direction. Let's see. Give me a sec. It's actually a wave. Okay. I'll give it a moment. Quo's in the building. Welcome in, Quo. All right, let me refresh. Guitar covers, welcome in. I have to use mail drop for some reason. Yeah, if the wave is like too big to send in the email, you can try Drive, you can try Dropbox, you can try something else like mail drop, like you're talking about, or WeTransfer sometimes works too. WeTransfer sometimes works. Hasn't come in yet, so I'm just gonna give it a moment because it's a bigger file, and then hopefully we'll get it soon. Mason's in the building. What's up, Mason? Welcome in. What are y'all up to today, man? I appreciate y'all tapping in today. If y'all are here for the first time, let me know where y'all are joining from as well. I want to chat with y'all a little bit as well. And then Z, I have your email. Just double check that you send the other half of the submission process as well. But I do have your emails. Let me see. Yeah, because those other files don't open at all. Yeah. What is going on over here? Is TikTok glitchy at all? Or are y'all good? I don't know. It's giving me like interesting notifications sometimes. So I don't know if it's being glitchy, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just doing its thing. But it's good on your. Okay, good. It keeps giving me notifications of like inactivity. And then almost every of the like last couple live streams, it's suspended me for like inactivity stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Good on your. Okay, good. I'm glad it's working, but I don't know why it's. But even that, like 5,000 likes, and like, I mean, that's like, I don't know. There's people obviously commenting and sending a rose here and there. Like it would take a lot. Like I see people that just like sit and do absolutely nothing on live sometimes, and they don't get suspended. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just y'all touch the screen every once in a while and see. Touch the screen every once in a while. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's because it's not typical. I've been doing this live in this format for over 3 years and have had no issues with it. But like the last week, I've been getting suspensions for it. No worries, Kirby. No worries at all. There's never any pressure. I don't want anyone to feel pressure to submit. That's the structure of these long form consultations that we get into. So that is the structure of it. Okay, sounds good, Rix. Sounds good. Yeah, but no pressure at all. Feel free to hang out a little bit. We have a very generous community, and it's also hopefully a space where even if you're not up on the board, you can still learn something. You can still network. You can still work with people. So I appreciate you, Kirby. There's never any pressure. I appreciate you joining no matter what. All right, let's see. All right, we'll give it a second here. Hopefully this will no. DJ Red Flame, welcome in. No, it's a paid service. There's no free line and a skip. Not yet. Jason, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Kate and Coda. I appreciate it. That's kind of the goal. Rix, it just came in. In fact, 2 of them just came in. It is here. We got it. That's the goal. The goal is that like, even if you're not on the board, you're not in line or anything like that, you can still learn. You can still gain something from it. You can gain some community, gain some knowledge, gain some experience. Maybe we're talking about a harsh vocal and you also deal with a harsh vocal and you can gain something from that. That's the goal. Shantia's in the building. What's up, Shantia? Hope you're doing fantastic. Of course, Kirby, of course. All right, let's get it. This is my new song. This is the first song I fully produced, mixed, and mastered myself. Please be so kind and give easy to understand feedback, as I am not an audio engineer. I got you, Rix. I got you. Thank you, Miranda. I appreciate you a lot. My lyrics, not my vocal. 100%, Jason. You absolutely can. If anybody would like to submit at all, just go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow all of the details. We'll get you up in line with everyone else. If you would like to see that line, you can go to the other platforms that we're live on, which is the red and purple app. You can find at my link. But yeah, if anybody wants to submit, all that's at my profile and at the link as well. I've been good, Shantia. Just busy. All right, this is my new song. All right, got it. Let me get this downloaded. Hopefully it downloads easily. All right, here we go. This is TikTok final. That's what it. That's the file that I have so far. Give it a second. It's downloading. Lily, welcome in. Greg, welcome in. I appreciate y'all joining the live stream. I hope y'all are doing absolutely fantastic today. This is TikTok final by Rix right here in the chat. Rix, if there's any other details you want me to have, you know the deal. Drop it in the chat. Let's get into it. Y'all make sure y'all are tapping the screen. Share it the live with a few people. Don't forget to send your heart me. It really does help out the live stream, and apparently it could help me from being suspended if that's what's going on. It's called TikTok. Let's get into it. It's time.
Home again, lost again, it's out of my control. Brains off again, try to forget, dirty laundry on the floor. Don't do my chores, don't use my door like a zombie on the phone. I'm hypnotized, no compromise, not even you can make me go out. Lost on the talk, can't get enough. I'm flying high, in my desire. Dopamine's on,
Excuse me.
my head is off. There's no more hiding from all the swiping. Stream it up, turn it up, keep it up. Hey, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. No matter what you say, I won't
What's up,
stop.
NG? Welcome in.
Tick tock, tick tock. AM again, now a
Welcome in,
businessman,
Dan.
10 cups to survive. Another trend is happening, I'm the first one to reply. Too old for that, too weak for that.
I like the
Even
drums.
missed 100 new likes. The cat again with more views than me.
Humans against AI.
Lost on the talk, can't get enough. I'm flying high, in my desire. Dopamine's on, my head is off. There's no more hiding from all the swiping. Straight up, turn it up, keep it up. Hey, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. No matter what you say, I won't stop. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. All night online is worth my time. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. No one's real, but it's showtime. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Oh, lost on the talk, can't get enough. Oh, I'm flying higher with my desire. Dopamine's on, my head is off. Oh, there's no
It is the TikTok theme song. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all show some love. Show some love. Show some love. That is Rix right here in the chat. This is TikTok by Rix. Let's dive into it. Let's get into the details. And let's run it from the top. I'm excited to dig into it. So this was all done by Rix. Rix vocals, mix, master, production, all the way across the board. There's some things that I really, really like and appreciate about this record. And then there's other things that definitely need a lot of polish, that need a lot of work, and they need a lot of support. So I want to kind of dissect between those two things and make sure that we have everything that we need to make this a cohesive and consistent record. Because there's some parts in the instrumental structure and then a couple things within the vocal structure. Right off the bat, the vocal to me feels fairly dry as far as process. We'll talk a little about performance too, but as far as processing goes, a lack of dynamic control and compression, where that vocal, leaps out of the mix and gets really loud and in your face, and then other times where it kind of dives back in the mix. You're getting a lot of dynamic movement that isn't letting that vocal kind of just sit in a pocket right here in the middle of the mix really consistently, really smoothly. So I would love, what do you have to pay royalties to Madonna and Justin? Royalties to Madonna and Justin. Is this a Madonna and Justin? I don't even know. Maybe I'm completely unaware. If it's sampled pretty strongly or something like that, I might not even be remembering if it's based off something like that. I'm not positive. So I do want to. Yeah, like is it? Yeah, is it? Wait, is it sampled off something? Or maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. Is the production like based off another song? Oh, it's not? All right. Yeah. Retrack. Let me know. Nothing I'm aware of. Gen Z, I might have your email. Just make sure that you follow all the steps. If you want to send music, you have to go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow all the details there. Read through and follow all the details, so that you can make sure we get you up in line with everyone else. It's not just sending the email. You want to make sure that you send credit to get yourself in line as well. That way I can make sure I get you up there. You do that with your distributor, pay about $12 and they get some royalty splits. Yeah, it depends on the distributor. There's like cover licenses and other stuff that you can get as well. That TikTok lyrics are in the song. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me see. Yeah. If you're like sampling or interpolating, then you have to or what'll happen is you'll just get blocked. Like typically what happens is you just get blocked from monetization. Like that, a lot of times that's just what happens. Okay, hold on. Whoop, wrong song.
Again, lost again, it's out of my control. Brains off again, try to forget. Dirty laundry on the floor. Don't do my chores.
Which part retract? The hook?
Me on the phone. I'm hypnotized, no compromise. Not even you can make me go on. Lost on the talk, can't get enough. I'm flying high, after my desire.
Okay, hold on. Good call.
Tell me how you want to roll. I want somebody to speed it up for me, then take it down slow.
I'm trying to get this other spot here. Let me see.
Can't get enough. Compromise, not even you can make me go on. Lost on the talk.
There's enough room for both. Well, I can handle that. You just gotta show me where it's at. Go. If you want it, you already got it. If you thought
Teresa, welcome in.
it'd be what you want. If you feel it, it must be real. Just say the word and I'ma give you what you want. Time is waiting. We only got 4 minutes to say the word. No hesitating. Grab a boy, grab a girl. Time is waiting. We only got 4 minutes to say the word. No hesitating.
Am I missing something? Maybe my brain's just not working.
Keep it up to be a break. You gotta get 'em. Tick tock, tick tock. That's right. Keep it up, keep it up. That's right. Keep it up to be a break. Madonna, you gotta get 'em up. Hop. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Sometimes I
On the TikTok. Are we talking about that? Is that what we're talking about?
what I need.
Whoops. The TikTok, right? Yeah.
Isn't you?
Come on, dude. This is annoying. Play the song.
Can't get enough. I'm flying high, after my desire. Dopamine's on, my head is off. There's no more hiding from all the sliding. Stream it up, turn it up, keep it up. Hey, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Yeah, I mean that.
Sometimes I think you gotta get 'em up. Hop. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
I mean, okay. Here's the thing. Like it's not going to be an issue for you. It's not going to be an issue for you. I mean, if for some reason you get 500,000 streams on this and some random person on TikTok, no pun intended, says like, look at this small, like, what are they going to, they're just going to take the monetization from it. They're going to delist it on YouTube and like whatever. It's it's going to be all the same stuff. Wait, this,
Sometimes I think what I need.
Keep it up to be a break.
this one is Dan. That's an Oliver loop. It does kind of sound. Is that what you're talking about? No. You're not. Your Spotify's not going to get touched. It's like stuff like that only happens when like a band you know, some band that has, you know, 100,000 month, the other track. I was like, hold on, you're talking about Madonna's track? That, you know, some band has 100,000 monthly listeners and they say that Ed Sheeran ripped off their song, and then they sue them over it, and then they sue them back, and it's a bunch of BS, right? You're not gonna, you're fine. You're fine. I mean, you have nothing to worry about. You have nothing to worry about. And unless you have like traction. Unless you have traction and you are pulling streams from Madonna and JT, then that's where, Zeb, thank you for the rose. That's when you have to kind of figure out what you want to do, make sure that there's clearances, and or just allow monetization to be claimed on any of the different platforms. You have nothing to worry about. Don't even worry about it. All right, let's. I want to get into the actual like structure here though.
To survive.
No, you're totally good. I mean, it is very similar, but yeah, it's not enough where you're like your song's going to be taken down, you know, typically speaking, that's not the case.
Now the trend is happening. I'm the first one to reply.
Got you, Ultra. Got you.
For that, get at least 100 new likes. The cat again with more views than me.
Humans against AI.
Lost on the top, can't get enough. I'm flying high, I feel my desire. Jump on his arm.
Okay, so like right now, let's get into a couple things here, right? So one, like I mentioned earlier, your vocals like pretty dry, pretty raw right here. There's really not a lot of processing at all going on. There's a couple things that I want you to do to help mitigate some of the issues that you have in your mix. Some of it's on the performance side. Some of it is like stuff that I want to be finessed as far as like the performance itself, projection itself. Sticks, thank you for the follow. The other side of it is just positioning and mixing, right? So right now, all of your vocals are hitting you right in front of the other, right? They're all kind of hitting you right down the middle. Because of that, they just kind of step on each other's toes, right? So when you're hearing these harmonies and these other doubles that you have on there, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. When you're hearing these doubles, you're hearing these other harmonies. They just kind of interrupt each other a little bit because they're kind of both loud. They're both mid-forward. They both lack some of that dynamic control. And then they both kind of hit you right down the middle. I would love to get some of those other harmonies, a couple things. I would love to like double track those harmonies left and right and pull them back in the mix by like 3 or 4 dB so that they're just like out of the way of the lead vocal, a bit quieter. And instead of them acting as another lead element in the song, they act as a support system and a foundation for that vocal, right? So your lead vocal is strong. It's right down the middle. And then behind that, you have some support systems to give that vocal some power and give it some depth in the mix. Right now, it's kind of all forward. That's stylistically a little bit more up to you, Rix. Like, I mean, there's different reasons why you might want to do different things. Kind of depends on how dramatic you want to go. You can go 100% left and right. You could go 25% left and right. You could go 50%. It kind of depends on what you want to do. If you want to go really wide and really big, then you can go 100%. But just keep in mind that's going to be dramatic sounding, right? That's going to sound very, very, artificially wide and really, really far out to the side. If that's what you're looking for, perfect. Otherwise, you can start with like 50 to 75%. That'll feel a little bit closer to, closer to center. Or if you have multiple harmonies, then of course you can do a couple. Like sometimes when I have multiple stacks of harmonies, like maybe I have an octave that I keep within like 10, 20%, a low octave. Maybe I have a third note harmony that's about, 50% out, and then a high harmony or high octave that's 75 to 100% out. And I'll kind of fill in the stereo field that way to make sure it feels really full and really dynamic. If anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. I'm obsessed with music. What's up? Same, Juliet. I'm so glad you're here. Is there a cat in the background? No, it's peacocks, actually. Strangely enough. Tonlu, thank you for the follow. We have a bunch of random peacocks out here, and it is mating season, and they are out and about, to put it lightly. Okay, so you'll hear, you'll hear that in the background. It's crazy. It's crazy, and they're all over the place. It's wild. Okay, let me move forward here a little bit.
My head is off. There's no more hiding from all the swine.
Yeah.
Straight up, shut it up.
They're everywhere, dude. We'll have like 10 of them on our roof sometimes. It's crazy. There's hundreds of them.
Hey, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Yeah, they're just Foley in the background. There's sound design in the background. It is funny. It sounds like we're in a zoo or something.
No matter what you say, I won't stop. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. All night online is worth my time. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. No one's real, but it's showtime. Oh, let's start a talk.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple places, even like we're in San Antonio. There's a couple different places in San Antonio that have them like different regions around San Antonio, outside of San Antonio that have peacocks, like wild peacocks. They've been here for decades. Apparently, someone brought them over like 60 years ago, and they've just stayed ever since. Jenna, welcome in. Shantia, thank you for the heart me. Okay, let's talk a little bit about like your production structure. I'm not too mad at. Like, I mean, most of like the drums sound fine. The synths are interesting. They're pretty static, but I really don't mind too much of what they're doing here. The thing that pulls me out of this a little bit, the thing that pulls me out of this just a little bit is like the vocal with this production. They feel a little disconnected for me. Some of that is processing, and then some of it is kind of what's happening with the vocal. I'm gonna run it from the top, and I'm gonna chop around and skip around a little bit. There's some things about like the way the vocal is performed in this style of song that feels a little bit separate. It feels a little bit disconnected. Yeah, moving now. Got a bit overzealous. But we got excited about finally moving a loop. Maybe on a loop. Then I was still on start. I finished up. I got excited after finishing down. Let's go. I'm excited, Ultra. I'm excited to get into it. Okay, sounds good, Shanti. Sounds good. I appreciate you. So here's what I'm trying to decide is I want to listen for like what your vocal's doing, what it does really well, maybe some of its weak points as well, and making sure that the production matches what your vocal is doing naturally. That's kind of what I'm listening for, okay?
Home again, lost again, it's out of my control. Brains off again, try to forget, dirty laundry on the floor. Don't do my chores, don't use my door like a zombie on the phone. I'm hypnotized, no compromise, not even you can make me go out. Lost on the talk, can't get enough. I'm flying high, after my desire.
So some of it is just that the vocal needs to be mixed. This vocal is largely unmixed, right? So it doesn't really, and you might have some on here, but it's probably a bit underdone, right? Yeah, so this vocal to me is fairly raw, right? So there's not really any dynamic control, so your compressor's not catching. The EQ, if it's there, it's very, very subtle, so we can open that up a little bit, right? We can give it a little bit of space at the top at like 8,000 hertz, 9,000 hertz. Low end isn't too muddy or too boomy. There's a couple little moments where like 100 to 300 hertz, 400 hertz is a little bit muddy in there. We can clarify that a little bit within that 1 to 300 hertz range and give a little bit of space in that pocket right there for that vocal to, shine a little bit more. You can drop that down by another dB and a half, 2 dB. Like I said, open up the top just a little bit more, position those vocals a little bit better. I would recommend, again, this is genre to genre, performance to performance, but in this particular song, I would encourage some tuning. Either just even a really slow retune speed on auto tune, or what I would probably even prefer to that would be some manual tuning of your vocal through either graph mode or Melodyne. I use Melodyne every day of my life. I love Melodyne. I've used it for like 18 years and have had zero issues with it. I really like it. You have auto tune on. Okay, so that's where you might want to have either a slightly less humanized. You can go through some of your settings, slightly less humanized. You can quicken the retune speed by another like 5 to 7 milliseconds. Make sure that like the mix is turned to 100% or closer to 100%, so it's catching more of those notes to control them, right? Because it's like a couple that are kind of fighting through it. You also have, and again, a lot of things happening at the same time. You also have a pretty wide vibrato to your vocal, so your vocal will modulate a lot, and that modulation, if it's not caught by the auto tune or controlled through Melodyne, can make it feel like it's out of tune a little bit, or even like out of breath in certain pockets. Jay, thank you for the follow. So what you might want to do as well, is it Sukuna? Thank you for the follow as well. I appreciate that. What you might want to do is make sure that even that is under control as well, right? The reason why is because the production itself is pretty static as far as what the drums are looped over. The piano is like velocity consistent every single time. It's bright. It's like, late 90s, early 2000s club piano right in the middle right there. That's very consistent, right? The synth is very static. It's a stack of saws right there. And it's very static, right? So if your vocal is then like moving in and out of pitch, it's modulating, it has a wide vibrato that's maybe even being caught by other notes in your auto tune. Just as an example, like if you're between, do you know the key? Maybe you put the wrong key.
I'm flying high,
C major. Your hook is in C major, but I do think you go to a different progression for the verses that might be in like a relative key or a close key. Your hook is C major based on what I'm hearing. Dun, 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 dun. That's your like main progression. It's A minor, F, C, G. Being that that's the key, just make sure it's C there. But let me hear this really quick. So you have kind of an interesting progression here where you have kind of like a two minor, 3 minor progression, which is just interesting. It's not wrong. It's technically like in the same key, right? Like you're here, you're in C major, and then your first progression is that's the 2 minor to 3 minor right there is kind of an interesting excuse me, Jesus. I need water. Excuse me. God. Try not to die on the live. Going from the 2 minor to 3 minor is kind of an interesting progression right there. And I think it's forcing your vocal to hit some kind of interesting notes, or the tension between those notes feels a little bit interesting. Thank you, Santi. I appreciate it. The tension between those notes is a little bit interesting, and I feel like it could be better to just kind of solidify that progression a little bit more. Let me hear.
Again, it's out of my control. Brains off again, try to forget. Dirty laundry on the floor. Don't do my chores.
Because the way that you're singing here sounds like it's in D minor, right? Da 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 da. That sounds like D minor. Right? That sounds like you're singing the key of D minor, and then you randomly switch to A minor, F major, right, to C major. So what I would just make sure of, you could do that. I mean, that's creative. It's interesting. It's quirky. It's weird. Like when it comes to you building up that part of your song structure, you just have to kind of decide, for one, that you are making sure that your vocal is tuned to which one of those keys, or you need to automate your tuning structure. You need to automate it in a way that for your verses, you are maybe doing it if you're building your chord progression over like a D minor bass right here, and that's what feels really good to you, then you might want to make sure that you're in the key of D minor on your auto tune right there. And then, like I said, tighten up some of your functions right there so it's a little bit cleaner. You get less modulation of the vocal. It's a little bit smoother and a little bit more connected. Then when you switch to the hook, you might need to automate a key change in order to switch it to, in this case, C major, which is where your entire hook structure is, right? If y'all want to submit, Jack, I appreciate you tapping in. Thank you for having in. Michelle's in the building. Michelle, thank you for the rose, and thank you for the heart me. I appreciate you a lot. Thank you so much for tapping in here. Everyone's a music teacher nowadays on TikTok. Really? I am not, well, I'm not aware of that. Juliet, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Yes, you typically can. It depends on the DAW. For me, if you have auto-tune pulled up, you can like go into automation list, and sometimes you can do automations for key changes. Or what you would do is you would just add another. You can another thing you can do is you can add 2 auto-tunes to your vocal and just have one bypassed and then switch back and forth. And you can automate that really easily. So if you're not able to automate, Gay, thank you so much for the follow as well. You're on Logic, okay. I used Logic years ago. It's been years and years and years since I've used Logic. I love it though. It's great. Chicken Willie, thank you for the follow. But what you can just have 2 auto tunes on there and then bypass back and forth. So not every plugin has the ability to automate every single function or every single drop list change. Sometimes drop list changes aren't automatable, but functions are, right? Like knobs and pots and faders are, and like other effects and stuff like that are. So if you're not able to automate between keys, then just add 2 and you can switch back and forth, or have those vocals have your hook vocal, which is probably a better way to have a little bit more control. Have your verse vocal on one track, have your hook vocal on another track, and in the hook, where you're in C major, your auto-tune's in C major, and on your verse, when you're in D minor or F major, in this case as a relative, then you can keep that really, really consistent right there, and then your keys are just locked per track. You know, don't even have to worry about it. That's probably going to give you a bit more control than what you're kind of talking about here. Okay, let's get a little bit later into this, but I do want to see a couple things. I do want to see a tighter tuning structure. I do want to see a little bit tighter dynamic control on your vocal. Right now, it doesn't really sound like your vocal is getting any compression at all. It varies pretty dramatically in amplitude and energy in the mix. So just make sure you're actually getting some dynamic control from that compressor. Not that it's just there, but that it's being triggered and that you are getting gain reduction from it. If you just have one compressor on there, we can talk about the settings on that briefly, but this kind of depends stylistically on what you're getting, wanting to get out of your vocal, what you're, the effect that you're trying to get out of your vocal, or if you're doing multiple stages of compression, making sure that those are doing what you want them to do. And then we already talked about the EQ side, and then positioning. I think if you're able to tighten up the actual tuning structure of your vocal, you're able to control your dynamic range a little bit better so that vocal doesn't feel too floaty, where it just kind of is doing whatever it wants to do and there's no control, there's no polish, there's no shimmer on it. Then I feel like things are just, they're a little bit too loose, and that's a little bit about, of what I'm hearing here. But if you can control EQ, like we said, some small changes there, better dynamic control, better positioning and amplitude of those vocals, like I said, moving wide, double tracking outside, pulling back in the mix by a couple dB, and controlling tuning structure, I think you'll be in a pretty solid spot. But again, the reason is because your production's really static, right? Now, if you were just an acoustic guitar and like a slightly out of tune grand piano and like a cello in the background, and it's moving and it's bending, and you had this vocal on it, or the style of a processed vocal on it, it might feel a little bit better because the production's not as rigid. But this production is rigid. It's looped, it's consistent. You have a stack of saws that are perfectly in key and quantized and perfectly in time. So if your vocal isn't any of those things, it's going to be obvious, and it's going to make the vocal sound much, much, much worse, because the contrast to it is a perfect production, perfectly in tune synths, perfectly lined up 808s and sub basses and stuff like that. The drums are looped, so they're perfect every time that they cut into the mix, so on and so on. So those are the same with the piano. The piano is it's VST, it's locked in, it's quantized, it's on the grid, it's 127 velocity. All this stuff is hyper consistent. So all of those inconsistencies in your vocal are going to come to the surface. So if you are wanting a more natural, more transparent vocal, then I would look for that in your production as well. You want imperfections in your production as well, more real instrumentation, more detunes, more modulation and stuff like that. That to me is going to make this a little bit more in line. But if you have a really perfect production and imperfect vocal, then you're gonna feel a lot of that tension. Y'all show some love. That's Rick's right here in the chat. Show some love to Rick's. Rick's, I appreciate you sending that so much. Thank you for sending in that track. I'm excited for you to build this out a little bit more. I think the bones of it are really good. There's some good consistent hook versus verse. Like your structure, I think, is pretty good. But to me, it's really gonna come down to how do we gain some polish and control from all these different things that you have going on right now. Okay, let me get a couple things updated here. And Thomas, I got you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you a lot. Let's get you up on the board. Let's get a couple other things rolling. A quick reminder, y'all. If you would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow all of the details there, and we'll get you up on the board, ready to go. We got about 7 tracks left today, 7-ish tracks left today. We got Ultra in the building, 8-man Ultra. Let's get this. Let me get your track pulled up here. I got the SoundCloud. Let's dive in. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Back. Ooh, we got like a tier, or is that a DMX? Let me back this up here. Can you ask really if the end makes sense with the new drums? Let me see. Real quick. Talking about these. The drums themselves isolated are fine. They're just muddy with everything that's going on, right? I just think there needs to be clarity of intent. If you're going to add in, classic early 2000s house, right? Then we need to clarify bass line. We need to make sure that the vocal structure fits together. Right now, you kind of have just a lot of noise coming at you right here in the middle of the mix. So I don't mind it. I mean, in fact, I think that works really well with that bass. It's a pretty classic, late 90s, early 2000s house sound. I think that works perfectly fine. You just need to make sure that what's happening with the bass in relation to your chords, in relation to the vocal, that all works together and it all fits together. So I don't mind the sound change at all. I don't mind the sound change at all. But again, contrasting that with a perfect vocal. So I want to make sure that that's really clean too. Okay. We got it. I'm going to replace the AI generated artwork. Okay, sounds good. The only AI about the song is isotope elements, though. Beautiful. I better off taking a picture of my mini log and doing something with it and give it if I want that visual. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. This is Analog Instinct by 8-Man Ultra. Let's get into it, man. I'm excited. Shout out to the mini log. I got one back there. I use it all the time. I love it. That's a DMX, right? That's an Oberheim DMX sample. I love it, dude. I love it. Nice. I'm looking at it right now. I might order it soon if the guy still has it. I'm looking at, sorry, and then we'll start it over and I'll focus on your track. I'm so sorry. We started talking about synths and my brain went, but I'm looking at getting like a vintage, like mid 1980s TR-505 that has multiple sample banks in it that can still run through the analog circuitry. You get a little bit of it, a little bit of the crunch. And so it's an old TR-505, but it has old like actual sampled Lindrum. So it has an LM1. I think it has an LM1, a Lin 9000, a DMX, and the TR-505. It's killer. And guys, it's a pretty good deal. The modification is a good deal. So I'm looking at it now. I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger on it, but I might because it sounds fun. Clancy's in the building. What's up, Clancy? Grab the DMX and the Lin from Geoforce. Hell yeah. All right. Let's get it. Shout out to Arturia. I have a 106 behind me. I was playing it most of today because the client production I was working on had a bunch of like Juno chords style stuff I was working on. I think it's the best. It's the best. Such a good synth. Okay, beautiful. Nice, man. A lot of great texture. Yeah, Arturia is great, man. What's that? What's that pad on the background? Narcisco, welcome in. I appreciate you. Mila, welcome in. Of course. Clemente, welcome in. How you feeling today? Okay, cool. I would love to, man. 100%. The low arpeggio is really nice. Interesting one changes for where like the kick starts. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all show some love. Show some love. Show some love. I'm trying to say to production experience. I'm very new. Yeah, of course, Muhammad, of course. Well, a lot of people that come in here are brand new. Tuluma, 100%, absolutely. Any style of music, any genre, any language, any level of quality or preparedness. This is not a place for polish. In fact, most people send in stuff that is unreleased, that is unfinished, in order to hopefully dive into some of those details and get some corrections in, maybe get some tips, get some tools before they send it off, or they finish building it out or send it to an engineer, whatever it may be. So yeah, you're gonna hear a lot of variety. You're gonna hear a lot of different quality. Some people that are there, they've arrived, they're doing their thing, and people that are still very much so learning the language around their music. So I'm excited. Let's get into this. All right, this is Analog Instinct by 8-Man Ultra. Let's dive into it. Let's go into a couple things here. So for me, as far as like this being a little bit, and I mean, synths are my thing. I've been playing piano since I was 6 years old. I've got like 15 synths in here. I love synthesis. I've played synths for, largely my entire life. This is some of my favorite stuff. I love 80s. I love synthwave, Kavinsky, Time Cop 1983, Midnight, all that stuff. So there's a lot of stuff here that I really enjoy just from a sound design standpoint. Same. From a sound design standpoint that I really, really like. And then from a structural standpoint and like a balancing standpoint, I want a little bit more out of this. I want a little bit more like support. I want a little bit more grounding. I want a little bit more structure. So it feels like this kind of pulls me along on a journey as opposed to just kind of existing where it exists. So those are some of the things that I want to dive into just briefly, like how can we take this beautiful sound design, this great progression, a lot of this like 80s analog sound design, and how do we start to like shape this into something that's like, commercially viable, that is palatable by a listener, by a consumer. And that's kind of what I want to get into, because I think it has a lot of potential, but there's some twists and turns and some inconsistencies that I think are going to make it a little bit harder for people to grab onto. So let's dig into that for a little bit, but I like this a lot, man. Very, very cool. Brenda, welcome in. A quick reminder for anyways, I got people coming in on TikTok too. A quick reminder that if you do want to send in your music for a consultation, these are 20 to 30 minute multiple listen consultations on the structure of your music. If you would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, read through and follow the details, and we'll get you up on the board. I just kind of asked about some of the mates with synths, then put on sound. Hey, sometimes that's a crazy way to phrase it, but sometimes you just got to do that. Sometimes you just got to do that. But now we dig in. Now we dig in. Emo Poppy, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Let me run this from the top. Start to build it. Like once this kicks in, you have St. Lotus, welcome in. You have a little bit of some little pockets in the background here. You have some like syncopations in the drums, where like the drums actually are off. Like they're technically to the grid, right? They're technically quantized, but they're off the grid, right? They come in like a couple counts late, so it makes the rhythm of it, and the cadence of it, a little bit funky. I don't mind that. It's a little hard sometimes, I think, to latch onto where those chords are changing with the drums, but there's ways that you can build out more production to make that feel a little bit more consistent. And we can talk about that a little bit too. But once this kicks in, your progression is so much cleaner. You have this, underline. I think it's E minor, right? Like your progression, your sequences and stuff there are a lot more consistent. And so for me, we switch here to this high. We move into the high synth right there. We immediately, again, we like start one way, we take a turn right here, we take a turn over here, we take a turn over here. There's not enough like time to just feel the moment of the song sometimes. Got you. And Ultra, also just a quick reminder that every single one of these live streams are saved on video on the red app, YT. They're saved actually on this app too, on the purple app. But they're saved over on, as soon as I finish up the live stream, there will be a VOD over on the red app. That way, it'll be under the playlist. I think it'll be like episode 64 over there or something like that. So if you don't want to worry about taking notes and stuff like that, oh, beautiful. Fantastic, dude. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, that way you don't even have to worry about, Robin, thank you for the follow. You don't even have to worry about like, taking notes and stuff like that. You can just go back and reference it again if you need to. Okay, so again, you have this beautiful moment right here. You bring in the low sequence right here. It kind of ends up as your bass line underneath your pads. All of that's really consistent, and then we switch again, and then we switch again, and then we switch again. What I would love to hear is just for this to be consistent for a moment, right? So you bring in the high pad again, these like, high string, saw pads at the top. I love it. I would keep the rhythm going underneath it, right? So as opposed to stopping it and then switching to another sound right there, because you only have like 3 layers here. You have like a pad, drums, and that layer. I would keep that layer going so you can build dynamics. Right now it's like one dynamic the whole time, and it twists and turns off that one dynamic a bunch of different times, as opposed to starting to layer and grow and come back down and then come back in, right? So I still kind of want to hear, as this builds in, see, right there. Like it's kind of craving, even if you just go to like a single, Robin, don't spam the chat, you're gonna get muted. And I don't want you to get muted. If you wanna submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow all the details there. We'll get you up on the board, ready to go. Not allowing them to play together at all. I was scared to get too messy, probably due to my lack of understanding with mixing. 100%, right? And this will also just come with time too, Ultra, where over time, you'll be able to like hear and listen for yourself of like, oh, when I added that synth, it got muddy, it got a little nasty, and it didn't feel good, right? This part over here feels inconsistent, and you'll be able to like turn the bass synth down, or turn this other synth down here, or pan this one to the right, or replace it with a different sound that's doing the same thing, but sounds a little bit better together, right? That will just come with time, but I want you to put in those reps. Those reps are really important, and those reps are going to teach your ears and train your ears of like what to listen for. And I definitely want to start building in some layers here, right? Because again, the sound design's there. The sound design's doing what it's doing, but I'm like, that's like Mannheim Steamroller. Like I'm really craving hearing those layers underneath it to keep the rhythm of the song, the energy of the song moving forward. So that's one thing that I would look at. And the other thing, let's talk really, really briefly. I'm going to do something real quick. Let me go ahead and add, I'm going to switch over here for just a second. And shift command in. We are going to, yes, it is accessing my screen. I understand. Let's go ahead and add a track on here really quick. I want to show you something just really briefly. Over Juno overdoing a DXF overtune. Okay, got you. Really quick, let's talk drums. So I think some of the layering stuff, I think, hopefully will help you build out, a little bit more there. I'm gonna add really quick a TR-707 so we can talk drums just for a second. It's a similar 80s drum machine. So here's a TR-707. Let's line that up and let's take off. I don't want piano on right now. All right, there's our TR-707. I love this. It's a great drum. I like it a lot. So here's what we're going to listen for. So one of the things that I want you to pay attention to is now getting into processing, right? So now you have the sounds there, and there's, excuse me, there's nothing really happening to them, right? They kind of exist there. Snappy, thank you for the follow. They exist there, but there's no real element of control happening to them that helps things fit together and feel more energetic and feel kind of processed and feel like they're working together to build up this mix. So I'm gonna do 2 things here. One, is we're going to add some compression, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do really, really quick, I might do a couple things. In fact, I'm going to skip compression for now, and we're going to go straight to harmonics, okay? We're going to go straight to harmonics. This is a free plugin. If you want a free plugin, I have a bunch of paid plugins that I use all the time. This one's free. So if you like free stuff, this one's free, and it works really well. You can get it from Softtube. It's called Saturation Knob. I love it. It works really well. You have a couple different functions here at the bottom. One is to determine, excuse me, to determine what gets saturated and what doesn't, right? Do I want to maintain low end and only saturate the top? Do I want to maintain the high end clarity and saturate more of the mid and low frequencies, or keep it neutral and do the whole spectrum, right? In this case, I'm going to go neutral because I want a little bit of the whole thing to feel saturated, and we're going to crisp this up just to like the point of breakup, and then I'm gonna bring the output down. All right, we got a bunch of energy on it. Let's bring it down just a hair. And then the other thing that I'm going to do is we're going to add a gated reverb, because this is the 80s. This is the sound of the 80s, and it's going to set those drums in just a little bit of space. So we're going to go over here. This has a really, really nice gated reverb here. So we're going to do the large gated snare. We're going to bring this down just enough. Let's let this die a little bit. So we're going to bring this down a hair, even tighter. There's immediately so much more life. Yeah, dude, these are like $50. They were more expensive, but I think they're only like $50 now. It'll change your life. They're so good. I love it. Okay, and so immediately, just with what we have here, just to bring this a little bit more live. There's so much more like life and punch and energy because there's so much more weight to the drums that are actually there, right? So it's like little things like that where it's like, I process those drums in 30 seconds. Throw on a saturator, push it to the breaking point, gain stage and bring down the outputs again, add a gated reverb, turn it up to taste, and you have a drum that sounds somewhat decent. You could do more. You could compress this and make it even punchier and drive it a little bit more. If you want to bias more towards like dark wave, synth wave, you might want to beef this up a little bit or layer it. But I think those are some of the things that I'm looking for. It's like, I want a little bit more energy out of your drum structure. I want a little bit more support from your basses as well, which are pretty far back. And then I want layering, right? Like we talked about before. I want to have that synth sequence underlying, like actually being an underline to these like beautiful high chords that you have from like the DX7, 100%. I mean, the gated reverb, that is the Phil Collins vibe. But that layering, the bass line coming in, even when you switch between DX7 and Juno, that layering right there is going to give you so much more energy, right? Now there's like depth to the mix. It doesn't feel too one-dimensional. So stuff like that, I think, is going to take this really far. There's the rhythm switch again. I don't mind it. So here's what I'll say. One more thing really quick, and then I'll move towards the end of the track. Right in here. So you have this progression change. So it's an E minor C D, I believe. Let's get out of the drums and back up here. So this, it's still playing the drums. Easy. Back up here. That's your progression underneath it right there. So on that progression right here, when you switch rhythms for the drums, I don't mind it. It's quirky and it's weird. Let me switch back out of here. It's quirky and it's weird. I like quirky and weird. Quirky and weird, I think is fantastic. When you're doing quirky and weird things, I think it's still important to sometimes find ways to reground the track, right? So it doesn't just float away and then people can't find their footing anymore. I do think that it would be beneficial to have something that in this case is just like a little bit more transient, right? Just in this case, you'll hear you have slow attack pads and a change in drum structure. So it makes it feel like all of a sudden the rhythm is completely gone. And it might be slightly intentional, but I'm curious if there's a way we can kind of ground it a little bit. And it could be as simple as having like a really like a really low piano or something that kicks in there. That's this is too loud, but kind of in the background. And it'll help you kind of ground your progression, right? I'm gonna crank the reverb. Here it brings it back into context. Now, obviously, you don't have to do it like that. You don't have to use that instrument or anything like that. But the way that just this, it just like, oh, it's like it's still weird. You still have a change in drum structure, but something tells me where I'm going, right? Doesn't have to be like that. You can do that in a million different ways. It could be a synth. It could be another pad. It could be like a Rhodes chord or something in the background. But I would love something to tell me where I'm at. Because if I don't have that, you can hear how the rhythm kind of falls apart. Still really pretty. And then that comes in like, oh, and we're back. I can find it again. Same thing here. I would love for that sequence to keep going so we actually start building. Axel, thank you for the follow. Start building across there. OBXD, okay, nice. Like I still want to build energy here. We're constantly trading energy right here instead of building energy. And so that's why I want to make sure that we're building energy here. All right, let me get into the last. I hope this is helpful in any sense. But let's push this forward a little bit here. Thank you, man. I'm glad. I appreciate you. It's like here you have those two layers. The dun dun over the top right there. MJJK, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Now you add in some of that additional texture over the top, and that gives you all this extra life. So now, like, dude, even imagine this. Sorry, I know we're switching gears here. The other thing on the bass side, again, we're looking for if everything's smooth, then there's no contrast, right? Right now, the drums are pretty smooth. There's no real punch behind them. All of the pads, all of the synths, they're very shimmery. They're very smooth. So you have nothing that breaks that mold a little bit. So what if we go over here? We're going to add, sorry, we'll switch back. We'll switch back right here. We're back here. We got a Moog. We got a mini Moog on here. We're going to go, let's get out of the piano and let's bring this here. Reverb's too crazy. Let's bring this down. We don't need all that. We don't need all that. But we can bring in a Studio D chorus right here. That's going to open it up quite a bit. Boom. Beautiful. All right, and now we're just gonna cut into that mix a little bit here, because again, there's so much deserved to make it. It did deserve it. And I'm looking for the breakup. I'm looking for the contrast between everything smooth and washy and blended together and something that separates you from that for a second, right? So here, let the bass come back in. Here. And then filter down, let the energy fade. And again here, probably too much repetition there, which it's looped over. It's the exact same sound for like 60 seconds, 65 seconds, right? We need some changes. We need some morphing. We need some movement right there. But that's like even just adding in a little bit of this extra synthesis in there, right? Just like that. And in the channel Night Runner. Ooh, let's go. It's a Kavinsky vibe a little bit right there. Right? And again, you can do this a lot of different ways. You could open this up a little bit. Like just as an example. And we're going to re-trigger it, right? So now, like if you want to go a different route, and it's not too baseline, we're going to re-trigger this instead of legato. So every time that we hit it, it has a completely different structure, right? It's going to re-trigger this, right? And now this is going to sit underneath right here. And it's going to give you more of that 80s vibe, right? Come on. Gorgeous. Nasty. And then close out, right? You let it leave the mix for a second. Those are those little things, right? Those are those little things of like, get the resonance in there. I mean, the resonance sweep to me is so much like this resonant, pushing this filter, lower decay time. So you get that, you want a little bit of that resonant sweep right there. You want a little bit of that envelope closing right there. So you can get some of that texture in there so it's not so static, right? It's like if I lower this filter all the way and we just open up decay, nothing wrong with that. But that's a cool sound on its own, but that's something else. Getting that sweep right there. Y'all show some love to Analog Instinct, or I'm sorry, show some love to 8-Man Ultra. The song is called Analog Instinct. Yeah, so for me, this is about building texture. It's adding layers. It's trusting your instincts as well. Dude, of course, anytime. Trusting your instincts, building layering, and then figuring it out, right? Let me switch back over here for a second. And we're back. Because I think right now, like you're not layering, you're not over supporting certain things in order for it to not be muddy. What I would do is start to learn to layer and learn to dissect that mud and kind of get through the weeds a little bit right now. Just because so much of what you're doing, it just needs more. It needs that bass underneath it. We need support from the drums. We need another layer of synths to kind of push those melodies forward. Now you might do stuff that is muddy. You might do stuff that has some issues that you need to weed through a little bit, but you're going to learn more about that sound design and their relationship to each other, which is so much of what mixing is figuring out the relationship between different elements, right? The width between different vocal takes, tuning and phase and you know, EQ and compression. A lot of that has to do with things relationship to each other. Does this need to be forward or back? Does it need loud or quiet? Does it need to be left or right? Does it need low end or high end? Does it need space in its EQ for other stuff? So much of mixing, like you said, is something you're not as familiar with. So much of mixing is just figuring out things relationship to each other. Do these puzzle pieces, do they fit together? And if they don't, do I need different puzzle pieces? Is it a different piece altogether? And or can I manipulate this? Can I cut this piece to make it mix or, you know, make it fit together, make it a little bit more cohesive? So that's the stuff that I would dig into. But y'all, please show some. I love synths. I love the 80s. Exactly. Ultra 100%. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Dive into it. Get into the mess a little bit. And I think you're gonna come out on the other side with some really, really great music. So y'all, once again, show some crazy love to 8-Man Ultra. They're over on the Purple app right now. What's up, Verseless? Welcome in. It's good to see you, Verseless. Urban Pirates, welcome in. Stefan, welcome in as well. I appreciate you so much. Quick reminder, if you want to submit your music, go to my profile, click on the link, just read through and follow the details, and we'll get you up on the board. If you would like to see the line is on the other platforms that we're live on. But let's get into it. We got Thomas Hall in the building. Thomas, make yourself known. Hop in the chat really quick. I've got your link right here. I'm pulling it up. Let's see. I see Strange Outfit right here and Rooster in the Hen House. Let's get it. Gosh, I love synths. Hold on. Okay, that's you. Got you. Got you. Got you. Got you. I love synths. Hold on. Yeah, there's the keyboard control. That's what I was looking for. There we go. Oh no, I ran out of range. We got to go an octave higher. Hold on. I ran out of range. These are too low. These oscillators are too low. Okay. Okay. Yes, it is, Abigail. Yes, it is. Sorry. I got distracted. I can recreate it anytime. It's all right, enough of that. That was fun. That was a good time. I love synths. I'm about to ship my Poly D off to Sweetwater to fix it. Hopefully that goes well. I want my Poly D back. Okay, let's get into it. We got Tulum in the building. This is Rooster in the Hen House by Strange Outfit. Strange Outfit. Have I heard your music before? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. It's like maybe all for the ears. Priscilla, I appreciate you. Cello, if anybody wants to submit their music, you definitely still can. Go to my profile, click on the link, just read through and follow the details, and we'll get you up on the board. Ready to go. Tulum, first time here. Let's go. This is Thomas right here in the chat. This is I guess a group or a band or an artist called Strange Outfit. This song is called Rooster in the Hen House. Tulum, give me all of the details. Talk to me about production. Talk to me about the mix. Talk to me about the role that you play in your music. I've been working on an album for over a year now, me and a buddy making. Okay, let's go. I'm going to play it, and then I'll redo the chat as we go. But this is Rooster in... for a second, it said 59 minutes. I was like, hold on one second. Very cool.
The kids are always saying they're gonna be fun. All I wanna know is remember last time. A little bit of chaos mixed
What are you singing into? I know, I was like, hold on. Oops, sorry. My piano.
swaying back and forth to and fro. Salt in the air like we're on a boat. Got me feeling like I stole away.
There's a rooster in the hen house. There's the howling at the moon. There's a rooster in the hen house. There's a chirping in the cool. There's a rooster in the hen house. There's the howling at the moon.
Okay, cool. Like an N2-1 or something like that.
In the hen house, there's a chirping in the cool.
Kieran, welcome in. Make sure y'all are tapping the screen too. Share out the live with a few people.
There's a rooster in the hen house. There's a chirping in the coop. There's a rooster in the hen house. There's a howling at the moon. There's a rooster in the hen house. There's a chirping in the coop. In the
Y'all show some love, show some love, show some love. That is Tulum, who's right here in the chat, but the artist is Strange Outfit. The song is called Rooster in the Hen House. Let's dive straight into it. Once again, there's some things that I really like about this and some things I definitely want to clarify for you so that you get as much out of this song as possible. Now, get as much out of these records as possible because you do have a ton of potential. Man, that's a catchy, there's a rooster in the hen house, there's a chicken in the coop, or whatever the lyric structure is right there. It's a catchy repetition. It's a good structure right there. Right off the bat, a couple things really quick. I think it's a drum loop in the background, right? It sounds like maybe like a garage band or a splice loop. I wrote that like 20 years ago and finally made it into a thing. Let's go. Thomas, I love it. Okay, yeah. So you have like a garage band, a brushed drum loop in the background that kind of lays the structure of this. That is pretty far back in the structure so far. And then you have a bass line that comes in over the top of it. Everything else in the mix is a little bit what I would loosely call mid-forward. So when you're filtering your vocals, you're introducing these like resonant peaks, right? So as you filter that vocal down, you create this effect right here. So you can hear you're filtering it down, so you're cutting off the high end to kind of give it that megaphone kind of a feel. As you're doing that, you're getting these peaks of resonance. That's the ringing that you hear, right? I don't know if I could relay to my vocal because it's already got a bunch of EQ and whatever on it, or not a bunch, but just kind of loose stuff. In these sections right here, you're just going to want to be careful of some of that processing right there. And as you're filtering, you might want to make sure that you're doing something to help control some of that ringing, right? So if you find that, you know, in whatever case, like 2000 hertz, 1800 hertz, something like that. When it's playing, it's ringing a lot. You're getting a lot of what I would call unbeneficial resonance. Resonance is just sound. So unbeneficial resonance, where when it rings like that, it's a little bit harsh. In fact, I had to turn down Spotify a little bit because it was kind of hurting my ears. Not necessarily a hot mic. It's just the effect. It's actually the filter in tandem to and the filter in tandem with the reverb that's creating that effect. What's happening with the reverb is you have that ringing happening, right? Let me give you a quick example. I'm going to do this on my EQ, right? So if I do this right here, I'm going to find where there's some resonance in my vocal right here, kind of, right? You can hear, oh, that's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Yeah. This is I hate that so much. This is an exaggerated version of what I'm hearing, right? You can kind of compare it though. You hear that ringing. It's just, it's so harsh. It's so kind of brittle. And you get this little like whistle in the background, that ringing. That's what I want you to take care of. I have that notched up. Now you can hear as soon as I take care of that, how like clean and clear my vocal is. Now, you might want some of the effect, right? I might want some of this middle kind of like telephone effect, right? You might want a little bit of that. But if you crank that too high and don't do something to kind of suppress it and control it, it will just be harsh. You won't just hear the effect. You'll also get those really brittle and abrasive frequencies, which is where I would use EQ to soften some of that, right? Let me delete this right here. So that's one thing, because my gut reaction in listening to this was actually to turn it down first because it sounded a bit harsh to me in the guitars and this lead vocal. And I would hate for that to happen, right? So say if it ain't Torvik, we hate jamming it. True. That's a fact. That's science. That's science. Time mind. So those are little things like that, right? If my gut reaction is to turn down your music, not because it's not good, but because it hurts to listen to, you've reached a limitation in how you're going to gain exposure for this music, right? If people get in their car and they listen to it and it hurts, or they're listening and while they're studying or while they're working or just on the weekend or they're working out, whatever it may be, and their gut reaction is like, oh, this is a little bit harsh, I need to turn it down, then you already have kind of a misstep. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. You've already hit a little bit of a misstep just because people are now limited in their ability to listen to your song. So one of the things I talk about all the time is one of like my tests. Time, thank you for the heart me. My test when it comes to engineering and when I'm like mixing for a client is how loud can I turn up this song before it hurts? Song sound volume wise, the same across the album. That's like consistent mastering. That's where mastering comes in, right? And mastering doesn't have to be some foo-foo, thing that's overly complex. It could be as simple as like compression and limiting and tasteful EQ, and, a little bit of saturation maybe. It doesn't have to be, some unknown mysterious thing. Mastering is just really getting consistent levels and consistent imaging across, a record, across a couple records and stuff like that. So when you're dealing with inconsistent levels, that's usually going to be on your limiter side. But if your tracks are taking up different amounts of headroom across all of these different tracks, then each track is going to be a little bit different, which is why it can be helpful to have someone who just like is going through all of that and balancing it for you. Okay, so those vocals. So I love the effect. I'm not mad at. The reverb is a little bit hot, so you lose some distinction and separation, right? I like the effect, right? So I like this kind of like telephone filtered effect, but because the reverb is so hot over the top of that, I lose anything that you're saying. I lose any of the message, and I want to regain some of that, right? So you could just pull that back by 15, 20%, still have a bunch of reverb, still have the filter, but have less harshness, less abrasive frequencies, and a little bit more clarity from the vocal. In tandem to that, we have these guitars. Pretty good sounding guitars. I mean, it sounds like a Telecaster maybe, or something similar. Like it's got a good tone. It's got a good feel to it. So the only other thing here, and these are like the two main things, right? Those vocals and some of your future vocals, and then this right here. The other thing that to me is it's a big deal when it comes to the structure of this mix is the stereo image, right? Yeah, sounds nice. It's a good tone on the guitar. I like the breakup. It's nice. The thing that I want to hear is a little bit more openness and a little bit more width. So right now you have bass and most of the drums, and your vocal right down the middle, right? So they're all in mono. And then that guitar is tracked in mono as well, right down the middle. And so you don't really get any or not much of a stereo image at all. It's fairly collapsed and fairly mono right here. So that makes the mix feel smaller. That makes it feel a little bit weaker sometimes, maybe a little bit hollow, because everything kind of comes at you right here, right down the middle, right in front of you, as opposed to like wide and vibrant and open. Even in like a simple country record, right? Even if it was just like a kick drum, a tambourine, a banjo, and acoustic guitar in your vocal, right? Even if it's a really, really simple mix, you still want good stereo imaging so that the mix feels as vibrant and as open and as energetic as possible, even if you have a really simplistic song structure. This was a push that I needed to make a TikTok. Let's go. Hey, man, Ultra, welcome over to the dark side of TikTok. I appreciate you hopping in, man. All right, let's get this a little bit forward here. But like even on the guitar, I have nice headphones and I want it to surround me with 100%, right? So that means we need to get some things in stereo, right? That might mean that your rhythm guitars, we need to double track, right? I mean, you might want to track a rhythm texture on the left and a rhythm on the right. You might want to stereo mic an acoustic guitar. Like I do that all the time with like my acoustic guitars in here, where I'll have two microphones on it and I'll mic them in stereo. In order to be able to pan them left and right and create that width, create that openness. You might want to have a chorus on one of the lead guitars or whatever it may be, right? There's a million different ways we can go about this. But we want to make sure that there are elements that are sitting left and right, not just center. When you put them into headphones, you will hear two signals, right? A mono signal will come into headphones and a stereo signal. But the actual positioning of those elements, it's all saved to YouTube. It's all saved to the Red app. So if you need to go back and reference anything, you absolutely can. You can go back and reference everything. So you might have most of these elements in mono. Once you put in headphones, both signals get you, right? Like as soon as you run those through the headphones, you will hear them through both headphones, right? But the signal itself is still mono and you might get some collapsing. Things might feel like they're really narrow. And I want those to feel nice and wide. So I think honestly for you, based on what you have here, it might be nice to have like stereo guitar. So maybe a double track acoustic or a stereo mic'd acoustic. Maybe the rhythm guitars are double tracked or stereo tracked. But the leads are in mono. Those are still like, he has a really good lead line in here. I think is fantastic. That can stay in mono. The vocal can be there, but then layers to your vocal are in stereo. You track a double over here, harmony over here, harmony over here. So you have some elements that are really, really good. The rest of them we need to build out a little bit more. So those are like the 2 or 3 like main things that I'm hearing in this. I'm gonna skip in kind of like right in the middle of the song and then towards the end, and then we'll move on. But yeah, I think stylistically you're doing a lot of really interesting things here. What types of music do you guys submit? All genres, dude. It's been all over the place today. Today's been all over the place. We've been up, down, left, right, all over the place. Any style, any genre, any language, any level of quality, and we're gonna hear it all.
In the cool.
Yeah, exactly. I would definitely have those background vocals. I would have like a double track left. I would have another one on the right side. I'd push them at least, let's say like 30 to 50% out. If you want to go wide, you can. But 30 to 50% on the outside in order to actually open it up and give yourself a little bit more, width here. But that's the thing is like right now you have this kind of blob of sound right in the middle in mono, and they're all competing for the same space, right? Especially in the mids and low mids. So like a lot of where the fundamental frequencies of that vocal lie, let's say between, what's a 5-man? Welcome back. Fundamental frequencies between like 600 hertz and 1200 hertz, like right in that pocket right there. You also have those guitars. You also have those lead lines in the drums and stuff like that fill a very similar pocket. So there is a similar frequency profile, similar loudness, and a similar place in the mix. So that's where we need to start to like carve and move and position things differently so that you can distinguish between all of these different elements and start to regain some separation in the sonics here. Okay, let me get to the outro here.
Is it chirping in the cool? Yeah, there's a rooster in the hen house. There's a howling at the moon. There's a rooster in the hen house.
And then I think another time we can talk about like the vocal processing itself, because I think that's kind of a different subject and would require a little bit more depth outside of that. I want to get like the foundational like panning and structure, gain staging stuff down, because that to me is a really like defining quality of this mix versus the stylistic decisions you make in the vocal here. It's a little bit boomy in the low end sometimes. You just like the 100 to 300 hertz range. A little bit muddy right there. A little bit too much dynamic range. So you hear your vocal get kind of la da 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 da. Though that dynamic range is really, really broad, which means you're missing some elements of control, right? In this case, compression being the easiest way. So your vocal cuts into the mix fairly loud and cuts out of the mix. It kind of gets quiet and then it gets really, really loud. So I would love to get a little bit more dynamic control through your compressor. It could be as simple as the compressor you do have on there, lowering that threshold by just a few dB to regain a little bit more control over that vocal. It's little things like that. But I just want to make sure that the foundational elements are there first. That's going to be like sound design choices, the tone of the vocal, like EQ, compression, getting into kind of the foundational elements of positioning of that vocal, so on and so on. Y'all show some love. That is Strange Outfit. That's the name of the band. I appreciate you so much, man. I appreciate you so much. I'm willing to help at any point, man. And we can go like maybe the next time if you're able to send it another time. We can go even deeper into like the vocal processing and like what do you have on the, you can even go and look at your vocal chain, look at exactly what you have on the vocal, and then we can dive into the processing settings. I can give you some, some strategies to regain some clarity and separation for that vocal so that you have a little bit more of that life and the energy that maybe you're looking for in your vocal. Because stylistically, I think you have some really good, interesting things going on. Like you said, your friend who plays guitar, really, really talented. There's a lot of structural things that are great there. I just want to get that foundation set for you without being too overwhelming and pouring out too much. But y'all show some love to, it's Tulum right here in the chat, but that's Strange Outfit. The song is called Rooster in the Hen House. If you like what you hear, that song is out on all it's out on all platforms. I'm like breaking my glasses. So go stream it, go add it to your playlist, go like the track, go follow on Spotify, go repeat it, all that stuff. You know the deal. Go show some love and support. Go boost the algorithm. Show some love one more time to Tulum right here in the chat. Okay. Real quick. Okay, let me know really briefly who, actually, let me check the email over here really quick. I think Eli, I believe it's Eli. I don't know why I said it that. Eli, I think I got a submission from you. That's you. Perfect. Eli, I got you. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Let me get you up here. It's catchy. It's catchy. It's catchy. And this is also just proof of even a song that's like not mixed that well yet and needs some processing changes and needs some other things happening for it. A good structure cuts through all of that. It really like the fact that it's like, okay, the song needs some works. It needs some restructuring. It needs some mixing. We need to talk about this part and this positioning, all these like technical things. But you know, the song that I'm humming right now after hearing, all these songs, and I've been working on music all day. The song that I'm humming is that melody from right there in a song that needs some work. So it's just proof that it's song over everything, structure over everything. The mix can always happen. And that's what I do for a living. And I'm telling you, that's like 5th on the list of importance in your song. All right. Let's super catchy, super catchy. If anybody would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow all of the details. We'll get you up on the board, ready to go. I got time for a few more tracks tonight, so let's keep it moving. Let me go ahead and update this really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I got time for like anywhere for like 3 to 5 more tracks, something like that. I'm excited for you, man. This is Eli. We got Eli in the building. Eli, is it my first time hearing you? Let me know. I just see so many names. I'm trying to make sure that I get the right ones connected to the right people here. Hey, I'm Eli, and this is a demo I put together this week in which I produced myself in my bedroom kind of studio, and I'm just looking for feedback on what could help the song in the mix because I'd like to finish it myself, but if I need to take it to a producer because I'm kind of new to producing. Let's get into it, dude. Beautiful. Okay, Bree, I'll double check that here in 1 second. Also, the song name is Was It Meant to Be? Let's get into it, man. I'm excited. But that. Yeah, 100% BRD, 100%. Yeah, if y'all want to check the line, go to the other platforms that we're live on. Right now, we're clearing through some things because TikTok's been a little funky today. But DJ Diva, welcome in. I just read that you have a co-host of Track Talk in your bio, to the human submitting. Oh yeah, so thank you for the rose, DJ. I appreciate it. Sometimes, okay, mainly last year, Libby would join me on here. We would get into we would go back and forth. She would dive into the like branding and style side, social media and stuff like that. So we have my wife and I run a company together called Obsidian Key. And Obsidian Key, we have a bunch of different things that we handle from branding, style, social media management, a bunch of different smaller services surrounding that. Of course, on the music side, I handle production, session work, mixing and mastering, and we have some other people that we can delegate to as well in that space. But so Libby would come on sometimes like once a week, twice a week, for a while. She was coming on for a while. And I would break down the music for a while, and then she would break down style, branding, look at your social pages, look at your Spotify, look at your bios, make sure that you're like optimized for SEO and all of your different bios and stuff like that. And so yeah, it was fun. But we haven't done that in a while. We want to do it again soon. It's also just like these lives are very overstimulating. It can be a lot when you're listening to loud music constantly. And then I'm here. Y'all know how my brain is. Like I'm yelling and screaming this whole time, talking about y'all's music and playing stuff back and forth and skipping through stuff. It's just kind of a lot. It's a lot sometimes. So she wants to come back on a couple times, hopefully sometime soon. Miranda, thank you for the friendship. I appreciate it. DJ Diva, thank you for the heart me. But yeah, so hopefully soon, but it's a lot. It's just like these lives are long, they're loud. Like for like a lot of people don't realize that like I've been working on music all day. So I spent the first 7.5 hours today, seven and a half hours today, like working on productions, working on mixes. I had, multiple projects I was trying to finish up today. So I've been like listening to music. I'm like melodyning a vocal. I'm like retracking some synths. And then I've got on here. It's been 2.5 hours already on the live stream. And it's like, it's a lot of noise. It's a lot of noise. Like there's a lot of peripheral benefits. Like it can help support my business. It can help, bring in other clientele. It can help support other artists, help give y'all some autonomy and some tools with the stuff that y'all are doing within your music. So I really enjoy it. It's helped me build a big community of creatives, which is, something that I've wanted my entire life. I grew up around music, grew up in music, and that's been my whole life. I've been playing, drums since I was 4, piano since I was 6, guitar since I was 8. I taught myself Pro Tools when I was 12. So I've been in music and around music for a very, very long time. But I didn't really have like a lot of great community around it. I taught myself a lot until I actually like went to a studio and trained in a studio and got a mentor, audio engineer that trained me in the studio for 2.5 years. That to me, like, I struggled finding like-minded people, other creatives, other people that were pursuing music. And I'm blessed now to be able to like work in music full time. Like I make my living in music, but it is, you know, for a long time, it was really challenging. So one of the other reasons why I really enjoy these live streams is I get to meet so many other just creatives, people that love music. They love people that love music. And and that makes me happy. It's a cool structure. I can't listen to music and talk at the same time. Yeah, it's crazy. I've learned it wasn't this easy for a while. It took me a while to get into. We've been doing this live stream, like this consultation format, like these 30-minute consultations. We've been doing this for over 3 years. And it took me a couple months to figure out like how do I do this. I also have like brutal ADHD, and so parts of it come really natural to me, and then parts of it are like all of a sudden the thought will leave me, and I'm like, and we're done. For folks turning it off. I have no idea what's happening right now. Okay, let's need some meditation and Tai Chi in between. No, literally Tulum, 100%. Okay, BRD, I'm going to double check that here in 1 second. And then I think Bree, I need to double check as well. I already have Eli up. I already read through his email, so I'm going to run Eli, and then I'll get the rest of y'all in order as well as we're listening to the song. So I think Bree and BRD, I'm gonna double check y'all's here in a second as well. If y'all do want to submit, some other people were asking, if you're wanting to submit, go to my profile, click on, what am I saying? What are we doing here? Who am I? Go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow the details there. Very beneficial format, dude. This is valuable, actionable information that artists need. Dan, I appreciate you so much, man. I gotta tap into one of your lives soon. I always see you live, and I'm always like on social media, doing social media. So I'm always like posting, trying to figure something out or going live. I need to join your live sometime, man, and chat with you a little bit as well, man. You've got some really, really needed and valuable information as well. All right, this is Eli. Eli, let's run it. This is Was It Meant to Be by Eli. Let's get into it, man. I'm excited. No, dude, I want to personally. I want to. There's always stuff to learn, man. There's always stuff to learn. There's experience that I need. There's connections I want to gain, and people that I want to be able to like network with and connect with, and just build community with. So yeah, man, it's no obligation at all. All right, let's run it. This is Was It Meant to Be by Eli. Let's get it. And then Eli, if you have any other details that you would like to drop in the chat, please feel free to. As far as like the role that you play in creating all of this, I know you're producing and doing all this yourself, but what you're using, the DAW, the gear, the whatever, like if there's anything that I can pointedly help you with, let me know. I'd love to help you out in any way that I can. Got you, BRD.
Called your name through the alleyway. I called your name 1,000 times. Closed my eyes and opened them back. You were gone then, as you were gone now. Can't imagine how you live.
Pro Tools. Shout out Pro Tools. Beautiful, nice, good setup. Alright, line is updated, y'all.
Don't know what you've done. I'll be caught when you come home. Can't you see that my whole world's caving in? Bullet to my heart, bullet to my heart. The constellations going without a trace. Wasn't meant to be. Wasn't meant to be. Can't imagine how you live this way. You leave no trail of regret. My world's been flipped upside down. A sequence smile, but away.
Let's go, Eli. Welcome in, Rick.
Can't you see that my whole world's caving in?
I like your dynamic changes. Little 80s disco in there, it's cool.
Wasn't meant to be.
playing an electric drum set.
Right here, right
Gotcha.
now, in this moment, my eyes are open. I've got nothing that can hold me back. Before you go to sleep, I know you're thinking of me.
Maybe, what are those,
Here, right now, in
those
this
big,
moment,
you might know, those big, like,
eyes are open. I've got nothing
hexagon
that can
drums?
hold me back.
Not a
Before you
Sherman
go
or
to
something?
sleep, I know you're thinking of me.
Simmons, that's what I'm talking about, yeah.
The constellations growing without a trace. Wasn't meant to
Yeah,
be.
same.
Wasn't meant to be. Wasn't meant to be.
Absolutely. Thor, 100%. Thank you for the follow. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Y'all show some love. Show some love. Show some love. The foundation of this is absolutely fantastic. So I think from a structure standpoint, you've nailed it. Like this is, it's consistent, it's catchy, it's repetitive. You have a lot of like the workings of a great song structure. So I want to work on mix and like maybe like mix and performance. So like some technical aspects of your performance and then mix. Because I actually think like the structure of this is like, it's really catchy. Like it's really well done. Yeah, if y'all want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, just read through and follow the details. Just keep in mind, if you would like to check the line is on the other app, the other platforms that we are live on right now, Red and Purple app. You can find them at my link as well. You can always see the line, the order, the minimum, stuff like that. But yeah, let's get into it. This is Eli. This is, hold on, where did the, there you go. Was it meant to be? All right, let's get into it. Yeah, I really do like the song structure. I really do like the writing. So to me, this is going to come down to like some technicalities, which again, that's always the pain point, right? You're starting out as a good musician and a good writer, and then you're running into some like technical limitations of being able to translate that to what you want to hear. That's what we're here for. That's what we'll dive into a little bit here. So let's get into it. Like the tone of this intro, I really like. The tone of what's happening here. It's a little bit mono for my taste. Everything's kind of coming at you right here in the middle of the mix right here. I kind of wish you have like it sounds like a bass, digital piano, maybe like a CP200-ish kind of a thing, like a CP88. So you have a bass, electric piano, and this guitar kind of over the top right here. Like that I like what you're doing there. I would just love to get a little bit of separation. So maybe you have the bass and mono right in the middle. You have a stereo piano that's kind of neutral but stereo, and the nice like wide shimmery chorus reverberated or like phased. I think there's might even be like a flanger in the background. I like a flanger and a nice like stereo delay and reverb right there that's really wide. Right now it's all kind of right here in the middle. So if you can start to create some separation between these elements, so it's not just a blob of sound in the middle of the mix, you can open this up quite a bit. It'll feel so much more vibrant, so much more dynamic. I'd rather be a good writer. So many fewer great writers than sing. That's true. That's very true. There's a lot of people that, I mean, like, you know, like I feel like everyone has this like someone in their family who can kind of sing, you know, like there's a lot of people that can sing, but being able to write and structure and emote and perform well as a vocalist is a different story. I know quite a few people who can sing pretty well. I don't know a lot of people who can write a good song, to be fair. Not very many people. So even just from like a industry value standpoint, there's no shortage of people who can like demo vocals and who can sing and be a BGV and like do a top line for a songwriter. There's much fewer people who have the charisma, the charisma and the like vocabulary to be a great songwriter. It's very rare. It's very rare. I would love to hear your song 100%. All the details are at my profile. Check the line on the other platforms. All right, let's get into this. So this first part right here, I love. Let's create a little bit of separation. You'll be way better off already just with that.
Called your name through the alleyway.
Let me know really quick what you might have said it earlier, but I might have missed it in the chat. What mic you're using? Like, what are you recording into? What does that environment look like for you, really quick? I want to hear that really briefly before I move on. That's going to determine kind of the next little thing that I'm listening for here.
Your name 1,000 times. Close my eyes and open them back. You were
F sharp minor. All right, so this is F sharp minor. You've got like a simple 6 5 1 over 3 4. I mean, I love it, right? It's an emotional progression. Like the whole structure right there. I think that bass line right there is really nice as well. It's a pay for you to critique the music. Yeah, it is a paid service, or this is not a review. So it's a paid service. These are 25, 30-minute multiple listen consultations. So we're doing like live stream consultations for artists, producers, songwriters, musicians, so on and so on. So it's not like a live music review with like a free line and a 5 skip where you can just like wait in the free line and spend 5 and you'll go first or whatever. It's a long form paid consultation that artists, producers, and musicians and engineers can be a part of if they want to. Yeah, so it's not like a quick pay to play and a quick review. We give it a rating, give it a poll, and then we move on and just like critique it loosely. We're gonna spend a lot of time, even like here, like we're gonna wait to get the details on what they're tracking with, talk through what they're tracking with, and so on and so on. All right, let's see. You did mention this earlier, AKG, P220, and pop filter, but my room isn't treated at all. Okay, so there's a couple things happening, right? One, don't spam the chat, FCK. Don't spam the chat. If you spam the chat, you will get muted, and I don't want you to get muted. I want you to be able to talk to everyone. So if you do want to submit, you can go to my profile to submit, but you can't spam the chat, otherwise you'll get muted by a mod. Thank you so much. Ultra, I appreciate you a lot. Okay. AKG P220, that is it's a lower range, sensitive large diaphragm condenser mic in an untreated space. So a little bit of what you're getting in this vocal mix is just like fluttering and phase and reflection and stuff like that, where if you think about it, like I have my mic here, right? If I sing, and my space in here is fairly treated, but I've got panels, I've got curtains, I've got felt, I've got, theater curtains and whatever and stuff in here. And this is pretty treated. If I don't have a treated space, right? And I sing with this is a large diaphragm condenser microphone. It's microphone. It's very sensitive. If I sing like this straight out, even with the pop filter, if I sing like this straight out, what will happen is, and this all takes time in the room, right? I will sing, it'll hit the microphone. So my signal will hit the diaphragm of the microphone. It'll hit this wall, and it'll bounce back and it'll hit the microphone again. This can create really interesting fluttering and phase issues as you have multiple signals bouncing around the room and then hitting the microphone again and creating issues for you, right? And timing, issues in phase, issues in tonality, right? How your voice, how your instrument, how your source moves in a room is going to determine how it sounds. And it might sound different to you with your ears in your space than it is captured by the microphone. So that's a little bit of what you're dealing with here too. I'm just going to quickly mention on all the music review lives, this one feels way more professional. Hey, thank you so much, BRD. I appreciate you a lot, man. I think that just comes from me doing music professionally. I do know people that do it, do music professionally that still don't, offer a ton, but we've done this for 3 years, doing it way too long. You know what I mean? Like going 30, 40 minutes per song and stuff like that. That's always going to be the way that I want to approach this. So I do think that is part of it, where you get a lot of people that only work professionally reviewing, but they don't actually do music, or what they do in music, they're not able to actually execute professionally at scale. And so that is part of the problem of a lot of just like social media people and influencers and stuff like that. So I think part of the benefit of a community like this and being able to have a structure like this is to be able to interact with people that do actually work professionally, work full-time in music as engineers, as producers, as session musicians and stuff like that. Anyone can say anything. Anyone can anyone can give tips. Anyone can, whatever. And I don't even want to completely discount it, because people still have an ear. They can tell you if like something's like hype or not, if it's good or if they think it's like, if they think they like it or not, if you find that valuable specifically. But the way that we structured this live stream is like, I want to get into the technicalities. Like it's one of my favorite parts about music is getting into the technicalities and understanding what creates emotion in music and what, is actually going to like create a like vibrant and like really energetic mix structure. And as a musician, someone who's played music their whole life, like how do those elements interact with each other, and how can we use that knowledge in order to like shape what you're doing, right? Whether you're early on or you're already a professional, right? Anyway, so I think that's what I love about this stream, and I love it is like people come in here because there's someone who does actually like, I do this for a living, not this, but music for a living, and I do think that's a valuable step that is very, very helpful. And yeah, anyone can say anything. That's so true. And I mean, these are as good as they can. Yeah, 100%, right? It's just like, how can I take you from your current knowledge and add just a little bit more? Right? Like whether it's you understanding that like, hey, your room is a problem because your mic is picking up on stuff that is changing the tonality of your voice, right? It's actually changing the way this sounds. No matter how many gates you put on your vocal, you have issues in your room that are causing your vocal to sound bad. What can we do, right? So like, it's like, I just want to give anybody who comes through here, or even if you're just chilling in the chat, even if you're just kind of, you're floating in the background, you're lurking a little bit, that's perfectly fine. I just want to give tools. I want to give like specifics that'll help you polish whatever it is that you're doing, or just, and also even if you're like amazing, like we have people that come in like literally that are Grammy winning, Billboard charting, whatever. We have people come in that are phenomenal. Even with those people, I'm not necessarily always going to critique the things that are happening in the song. I want to point out the things that are happening because they did those things intentionally and they're incredibly valuable. And I want everyone else here in the chat to learn from that as well. Like when like people come in that are amazing at what they do, I want to like tell you like, hey, listen to the guitar, listen how it hits you in stereo, listen to this chorus in the background, and hear how it interacts with the rhythm guitars. Here's most likely some of the process of what they did there in the background. That is one of the reasons why that's happening, so that y'all can start to mirror some of these tools that other people are using as well. This is not a gatekeep live. This is not a gatekeep live in any sense. We'll give it all away. Dan, thank you so much for the TikToks. I appreciate you, and for the encouragement as well. I appreciate it a lot. Okay. Eli, let's get a little deeper into this. Okay, so vocal structure. What's up, Skeezy? Welcome in, man. Vocal structure. Right now you're recording with a lot of cheaper microphones, like the, P220 is cheaper, 100, 150 bucks. The P220, they tend to be very, very sensitive and very bright, right? They tend to over exaggerate a lot of times. When you listen to a lot of cheap microphones, listen to an NT1, listen to LCT 240 Pro, listen to, the MXL 990, listen to AT 2020. They tend to be a little bit exaggerated without like the transformers and tubes to soften them, right? So they'll kind of within their circuitry and within their profile, they'll be very bright, very slicey, very transient, very, 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 very kind of brittle at the top end, but they don't have like the U87 like transformer or like a tube microphone to like soften and saturate that and break it up a little bit, so you just get bright harshness, right? When that's reflecting off the wall and back into your microphone and direct from your microphone, it's going to create some issues, right? So I'm not expecting you, Eli, to go purchase $800 and like steel wool, rock wool treatment, not steel wool, rock wool treatment, and set up your living room as a whole music studio. But what I would recommend is that you control your environment loosely. This could be as simple as changing where you record, right? If you are just largely recording, Retrack, thank you for the goats, I appreciate you, man. If you are just recording with a laptop and a Scarlett and and the mic that you have, or a Volt or something like that, go record in your closet amongst your clothes. Go sit in the car for a little bit. Take your laptop to the car, record in the car for a little bit where it's a little bit more dead and a little bit more controlled. Put a heavy blanket, take your comforter off the bed and hold it. Like maybe you practice all of your takes, you get your comms down and stuff like that. And then when you're ready to track completely, put a blanket over you and control your environment a little bit more. It could be as simple as like I don't know what your environment looks like, if it's a bedroom, whatever. It might be as simple as like when you're going to record, flip your mattress up on its side and go into the corner of the room, or go to the center of the room if that feels better, right? To me, if you just kind of accept that it's messy and it's too reflective, then you're going to create a lot of issues in your vocal that aren't edited out. You can't RX11, this extra phasing and extra, issues that you're having on your vocal out of that mix. It's going to be there, and it's going to be one of the things that you run into constantly. Okay, so that being said, because to me, I will say this a million times a day, source over everything. I don't want to rely on plugins to fix things. I don't like band-aids because band-aids sound bad and they sound worse the more of them that you have, right? So if I have a bad vocal take in a bad environment, I'm saying this loosely, not necessarily directed just to you, but if I have a bad vocal take with a bad voice and a bad environment on a bad microphone, set into a bad space, I'm going to, like, the next EQ that I add is to try to fix it. The next compressor I add and de-esser I add is just to fix the next thing. And then those are over controlled. And so then I add the next thing in order to boost it again. And then every plugin in your chain, you got 9 plugins on your vocal that are just there as band-aids to the fact that you should have just like recorded in your closet and that would have fixed 8 out of those 9 plugins, right? Your first EQ is your proximity to your microphone, so on and so on. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I would say is like, maybe you're just in the middle of your bedroom, right? And you're recording on a desk and whatever. Write everything there. Like, I'm not saying like anytime you have an idea, like, dude, I gotta go to my car or something. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, get 99% of everything done. Like, treat yourself as a studio. Get 99% of what you need to get done in your environment. And they're like, now it's time to record the song. I got the lyrics written out. I'm ready to go. And then go to an environment that's going to feel a little bit easier for you to record. It'll dramatically change your ability to process. It'll change the way that you approach your vocals. Healer, thank you for the follow. Okay. Next step to this is proximity. So another thing that you're getting a whole lot of outside of initial vocal quality from the source that needs to be fixed, I would encourage you to fix. I would probably retrack the song, get a little bit of a cleaner vocal take. I'm always a fan of retracking. People hate me for it. I will tell every one of my artists to if there's an issue with their vocal, like, hey, can you retract this? And it'll be better. I will be a better mixing engineer if you retract this. So I'm always a fan of retracking. Get the song right. If the song matters to you, prove it and make sure that you get a good take on it. So I would probably retract this and put yourself in as best a place to succeed with this record as possible. And then the other thing is proximity to the microphone. I'm assuming, based on the sounds that I'm hearing within your vocal, that you're probably pretty close to your microphone. I'm going to play the track a little bit farther in, and then we'll open it up here. Retrack. There was like 7 of them there. Retrack. Got like 6 or 7 of them.
This way you leave, no, we're going in as you were going now. Can't imagine how you leave. This way you leave, no trail of regret. My world's been flipped upside down. A sequence smile, but a
You got a good voice, man. Like, again, like, that's why, like, it's worth it. It's worth it for you to lean into this. It's worth it for you to gain those skills because, like, you've got a good voice and you're a good writer. I do like your writing. Okay, so one of the things that you're going to hear a lot of in the background here is mouth noises. It is saliva pops, if you will. You're going to hear mouth noises and crackles and pops and saliva and stuff like that. Heavy, deep breaths. Deep breaths. Slow down, Torvik. You're going to get a lot of that. Part of that is a little bit of overcompression happening as well. When you overcompress and boost, you are bringing up low-end information, right? So if I squash a vocal and make up the gain, all of the stuff that was down here has been brought up and pushed to the top of the mix. So heavy breathing, mouth noises, stuff like that in between. You're going to get a little bit of everything. The sound of the room, the AC unit, blowing through the vent, the fan in the background, this light that's buzzing over here. There's a lot of other things that are kind of happening at the same time, right? And that's going to bring all that information up. The other is just proximity, right? I'm assuming you're fairly close to the microphone as well, just based on the fact that you're getting a lot of almost ASMR level clarity from some of those mouth noises and pops. 2 sides to this. One is based on how you're singing and the production that you have, you can back off like 7 inches away from the mic, right? Like farther than you already are, right? Like you should probably be the way that you're singing, I would say 8 to 10 inches away from the microphone and then gain stage accordingly. Now, if you're in a bad room, you're going to bring a little bit more of that room in. So controlled environment's going to help you. Semi-controlled environment's going to help you. I would back off the microphone. For one, it's going to decrease some of that proximity effect. The proximity effect with a cardioid microphone is the fact that when you're really, really close to the microphone, you're going to increase low end energy, right? You're going to get a little bit more boominess and plosives and stuff like that. The closer that you are, the more that you open up. If I move away from the microphone, the vocal's going to sound brighter and thinner because you have less of that proximity effect, right? I'm using headphones and on one ear. Okay, so that's, you're getting a little bit of bleed as well. So again, that's another side to it. Great, good call, Banner. All of those things add up, right? Reflection in the room, being too close to the microphone, bleed. So the beat, the guitar is kind of playing in the background. You can hear it over. It's kind of bleeding back into the microphone. Sai, thank you so much for the follow. So you're getting like multiple things bleeding back into the microphone that you have to control and mix on your vocal, right? If you take care of those, then you're going to be in a much cleaner spot just by default, retracking that. But I would back off the microphone by, probably 8 to 10 inches or so. Give yourself some space to diffuse, right? If you don't have space to diffuse, everything just gets picked up, right? So I need some space in order for those low end frequencies to diffuse. I need some space, for some like the sibilants and plosives to diffuse without being right up on the microphone. So back off just a little bit. That'll help as well. You're just gonna have to regain stage to make up for the fact you're a little bit farther away. The other side of this, and I'm gonna skip towards the end of the song, because again, these are all technical things that if you don't get these like foundational things right, how much reverb you have on your vocal and what auto tune you use doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So, because I want you to retrack the vocal anyways with a better structure, then we can tackle what that mix actually looks like. But the foundation to me matters more than anything. Okay. Other side of this is, let me skip a little bit forward here because there's one other thing I was listening for.
You've done. I'll be calling when you come home. Can't you see that my whole world's caving in? Bullet to my heart. Bullet to my heart. The constellations going away.
Okay, last two things, because this is all about, we already talked about separation in the production structure. I don't want to dig into that too much. I want to focus on vocals, because that's the biggest thing I think we need to address. Okay, on the mouth noises side, right? The reason why you're getting, usually, the reason why you're getting some of those mouth noises and those pops and stuff like that, it's because of increased saliva production. It's usually, not to, I don't have to talk about this too much, but it's usually because of dehydration and or an increase in saliva production due to what you ate. So if you have dairy before, if you have spicy food before, if you have carbonated beverages, caffeine, stuff like that, a lot of those, high fat and salt and spice content can increase saliva production. So when you're singing and you're trying to, whether you're like rapping, singing, talking, voiceover, whatever, you're going to get more saliva. So you're going to get more pops and crackles and stuff like that. Those ASMR noises that you hear when you're tracking. So if you want to mitigate that, for one, if you know you're going to be like tracking a final vocal, stay away from, spicy food, try to mitigate alcohol and dairy and stuff like that, that are also going to dehydrate you. So like alcohol and caffeine and stuff like that, it dehydrates you quite a bit. Make sure that you are very, very, very hydrated. If you are very, very, very hydrated, then you're gonna have a much better chance of getting a good, smooth, clean vocal take. The other side of that is I would, have some honey water next to you. Like if you're like, hey, I'm writing the song, I'm BSing, I'm just trying to get ideas out. Don't worry about it. But if you're tracking, this is you. You have your own studio in your home, in your bedroom, right? What you treat it as such. I'm about to track. I am paying myself studio time. I'm about to track right now. Then heat up some water. Put a little bit of like lemon and a little bit of lemon and honey in there, or have some tea before. And that'll help smooth it out a little bit too. But the more that you're hydrated, the more that you're gonna have a much better time recording, and you're not gonna spend like 4 hours a day on RX11 trying to fix mouth noises. Throat coat's amazing. No. I've got a tub of them, BRD. I've got on the other side of this wall right here, I have a tub of throat coats and lozenges and honey and a bunch of different teas and stuff like that. It works. So, I mean, I know like I don't track my own vocals a whole lot unless I'm like tracking for a library or something peripheral to that. I don't have a chance to record a lot of my own music, but when I am, or I'm tracking for a library or I'm doing session work as a BGV or a top line, then I always make sure that I have some of that stuff on deck. Because when you're doing comps, you're doing multiple takes and stuff, it gets brutal, right? It's going to make a huge difference. Okay. Let me skip to the outro here really quick, but all of those, these all add up. environment, room, proximity, health of the vocal cords, right? Like, saliva, it all makes a difference. These all add up to be your vocal take. If you took care of half of those, your voice is going to sound like 80% better. Okay, last thing. I was reminded right here, and then we'll move on. Last thing is those background vocals, they take over the mix. I want them to support the mix, right? So you actually do have some beautiful harmonies in here. You have some really nice layers. They are double tracked, really, really nice. They're wide and they're powerful. Two sides of it. One, they're a little bit boomy, so you don't need as much low end in there. You can carve a little bit of that out. I prefer to not just cut out low end, but to control it. What's up, Jay Steele? Good to see you, man. So between 100 and 300 hertz is where a lot of that mud is coming from. So you can like high pass at like 80 hertz and then control between 100 and 300 hertz to get a little bit of that boom out of the mix. That'll help, give you a little bit more clarity right there on those vocals. And that would also just pull them down by like probably 4 or 5 dB. Leave that lead vocal as your lead. It's front and center. It's nice and prominent. And then it's supported by other layers that, they increase energy. They make it sound wide and poppy and give you a nice little burst of vibrancy in the mix, but they don't take over the mix. Because what happens is when they take over the mix, it wakes everything up for a second. And then when they're not there, the whole mix feels really weak, right? Because there's a gap of energy that wasn't there before. There's a void that wasn't there before. So when you're doing those layers, just do them a little bit more subtly, a little bit more intentionally, so that they don't increase energy too much or take away energy too much. They just give you a little bit of a swell of energy and width and vibrancy, but they don't necessarily take over or pull energy away when they're not there. Y'all show some love. Hopefully that's helpful. Y'all show some love to Eli. Eli, I like your style. I like your writing. I like your aesthetic. I think you have a ton of potential. A ton of potential, man. Like seriously, I can see through the weeds and I can see what's happening here. You're a good writer. You do have a good voice. And I think that the more that you mature your process, but you also just mature as a vocalist, as someone who's like projecting their vocal. I think you're going to be in a great spot, man. I'm very, very excited for you. Y'all show some love to Eli. Love and appreciate it, man. Amazing. Okay. Absolutely, man. Anytime. Give me a second. Let me just make sure I got all of this updated really quick. And let me update the line. Okay. Sorry about that. It's about that time where I start losing my shit. All right. Let's see. We got Bree in the building. Quick reminder, if you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through it and follow the details there. If you would like to check the line, order, minimum, stuff like that, go to the other platforms that we are live on, which is the Red and Purple app. You can find them at my link as well. You can see the line, order, minimums over there in case you want to see where you're at, see if you want to move forward or anything like that. Let's get into it. We got Bree in the building. This is from my band Heal. Oh, is that the same Healer that's right here in the chat? Is that the band? Is that the band right here in the chat? I could be displaced. Thank you for the follow. Okay, cool. I was like, oh, I just saw Healer. I just saw him. All right, this is for my band Healer. I do vocals. Bree Squared on TikTok. We are getting ready to enter the mixing and mastering phase. Any notes? Welcome. It's BRD. It's not a skip. It costs 10 to just get a consultation at all. If you want to move faster, you can. I want to make sure that I put all of that in the form as well. So if you want to move faster, you can. You could go next if you want to. If you want to move a little bit faster, that's up to you. People send more or less in order to go faster or get heard sooner and stuff if they want to. But it's not like a free and then you skipped the free or anything like that. You just sent the baseline to get on there. So it's up to you. No, yeah, you're good. You're good. Let me know if you want to be next. We can hang on for a second, or we'll. I think right now you're after this one. Currently speaking, Andrew's in the building. What's up, Andrew? Welcome in. Shout out to Healer. The band right here in the chat as well. Game Folk, welcome in as well. Appreciate you being here. John, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. All right, let's I think we're gonna run it, right? This is Fever Dreams. We added an ambient moment in the beginning, so it does cut slightly short at the end. Okay, sounds good. All right, this is Fever Dreams. This is Fever Dreams by Healer. Let's get into it. I'm trying to move at a good pace today. I feel like I'm doing decent. Like, I still am going to take 25 minutes, but I've been pretty good about 25 minutes. Ooh, dissonant. what's up, Sierra? Welcome in.
You got me reading between these lines. We met in my dreams, yeah, you started
Go to my profile, click on the link, and then read through and follow the details there.
on my little
These are long consultations at 30 minutes.
and just like that, you take control. You got me shaking in my bones.
Nice. Yeah, tone is great. Tone is great. Julian, thank you for the follow.
We've got a love like a fever dream, lucid and fueled. This world leaves me cheated. I will run to you. Love like a fever dream, lucid and fueled. When this world leaves me cheated, I will run to you.
If y'all are on TikTok, make sure y'all are tapping the screen too. Share out the live with a few people.
You got me shaking in my bones. You got me shaking in my bones.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Y'all, show some love. Show some. I know it cuts off a little abrupt. You already said that. Show some love. That is where did the song go? It just disappeared. Fever Dreams by Healer, who's right here in the chat. Healer, hop in the chat. This is unreleased so far. It's about to go to mixing. So this is a pre-mix. This is demo phase right now, and we are going to dive into the details. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Juliana, thank you so much for hopping in. I appreciate you being here. If you would like to submit, or anybody would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, read through, and follow the details. We'll get you up in the line, ready to go. This is not a live for popular artists or like a major artist or anything like that. It's for independent underground artists, producers, vocalists, musicians, engineers, whatever it may be. We're going to spend 20 to 30 minutes breaking down your song. We're going to listen multiple times to really get into the details and the nuances of what you're doing. We're going to talk through your mix, production, sound design, lyric and song formatting, so on and so on. If that's interesting to you, if that would be valuable, feel free to hang out for a little bit. Or if you want to submit, all of the submission details are at my profile. If you click on the link, if you want to see the line is on the other platform that we're live on. The other platforms that we're live on, you can also find those at my link as well. But let's get into it. This is Healer, which is the band right there. You can see in the chat. It's Andrew on the drums. We got Bree Squared as the vocalist that you're hearing right there as well. Let's get into it. Let's run it from the top. That's not it. There we go. And we're back. I like the live acoustic introduction, right? You know, like plugging in the guitar, a little bit of feedback, picking up the sticks. You know what I mean? Like that raw introduction, I think is nice. Nice bass tone too. Now, I know this is going to mix, so I don't want to dig too deep on mix because I know it's just going there, and I want to balance the breakdown of like not just saying stuff you're just going to do in like 10 minutes. It just needs to kind of go in that. What I want you to be aware of is just balancing between rhythms and leads. Right now, rhythms are very, like you have a double track at least right there. The double track rhythms are very, very, very prominent. Now, they sound beautiful. They're full. They're energetic. They're driven really, really well. I love the tone. Alexis, welcome in. I love the tone. I love the whole feeling. They're just probably 3 or 4 dB hot, which is making the contrast is making the other guitars feel light and thin. And it's making the drums feel really quiet as well, especially like on the snare side and some of the overheads. So just be aware of it as you're going into mixing. Be aware of it. That way you can make sure that you don't populate with the rhythm guitars there, and make sure that you have a good balance. The way, like, I try to get like a blend between like bass, rhythm, and lead, like they're one big section chopped into 3 different parts, right? Like they're one vertical column in 3 different parts where the bass leads straight into those rhythms, it leads straight into the leads, and they all blend together beautifully. That's kind of the vertical that I'm looking for when you're blending these guitars together. What you don't want is like a super, super hot rhythm, and you only get a little bit of bass and a little bit of leads over the top. But the vast majority of what you're hearing is these huge rhythm guitars. Try to get a little bit more like separation and clarity between the 3, and I think you'll be in a good spot. But overall, tone, that's all mixed stuff that's going to come in a minute. Tone-wise, gorgeous. Love it. Love that tension and dissonance right there, too. It's really, really nice. It's a really good voice. It's a really, really good voice. I want to play it into the next part of the verse here. It's a great voice tone.
Just like that, you take control. You got me shaking in my bones. My reality's come unraveled. You got me reading between these lines.
That line right there is a little funky to me, phrasing wise, a little bit. I heard it the first time. I want to go back through it really quick. I'm curious. There's something about the phrasing, something about the way that those syllable counts cut in right there that I feel it could be polished a little bit. Maybe starting a count early or a rephrasing that cuts out one syllable or something right there. Because I think part of what makes this feel so engaging is that energy. Da, 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 da. That's so vibey and swung, and like I like it, right? That kind of slowed down, like on the nose, like quarters, and then the da, da, da is so vibey. I love it so much. So then the rushed lyrics to me pull me out of that first. It pulls me out of like the vibe and the looseness that's already right there. And the phrasing starts to feel a little bit funky right there. Here. You got me reading between these. Here's like it cuts in a little bit in a way that is, for one, it's different than the first one. So you lose a little bit of your cadence in the phrasing of the first line that you have cutting in right there. So that immediately to me makes it a little bit less catchy, a little bit less consistent, which is fine. You can have some inconsistencies in your melodies there, of course. But on the other side right here, I would potentially find another way of phrasing right there, just because the first line is so vibey and this is really consistent for your verses. And so I'd find another way of phrasing right there potentially. Again, that's taste, it's stylistic a little bit, and obviously it's just even have the capacity to retrack. That's up to y'all. But I do wish that was a little bit cleaner right there, because that structure is so smooth already.
You got me.
That's great.
You got me reading between these lines.
So like, instead of "you've got me reading between these lines," which again, you throw kind of a little bit of a wrench in the system right there. Like you could say, "and now I'm reading through these lines." Like keep the same structure. Like instead of "you've got me reading between these lines," you could find a way. Again, I'm not going to do that perfectly, but find a way to rephrase that has the same flow and mood of everything else before it, so it doesn't kind of pull you out of that.
Come unraveled. You got me reading between these lines. We met in my dreams, yeah, you started to feel.
Because listen, the reason why it stands out to me is every other, like 99% of the rest of these lines are da 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 da. Like everything's really smooth, very consistent melodies, very consistent phrasing and rhythmic structure for the vocal, like cadence of the vocal. And then there's like when there's just like one or two that doesn't fit, like one or two that's like we just have to fit this lyric in there. It's a little bit too fast and there's too many syllables. It stands out a lot more because everything else is like so smooth and it's so well structured. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you a lot. Thank you. Yeah, great tone. What's up, Liz? Welcome in.
We've got a love like a fever dream, lucid and fuel. This world leaves me cheating. I will run to you. Love like a fever dream, lucid and fuel. When this world leaves me cheating, I will run to you. It's just like that.
And then honestly, like the only other thing structurally that I would probably have in here is a double of your vocal next to your vocal, at least for your hook. Harmonies are beautiful. I love where they sit. I love what they're doing. I do think it needs this. It's a powerful production and that vocal can't compete. There's no amount of like EQ and compression that's going to force that vocal over the top right there. It needs support. Now those layers can be balanced, like the you know, those can be kind of brought under control as you get closer to the mixing phase, but this just like that da, 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 it needs something right next to it, like right here. It needs something right next to it to give it some support and allow it to compete in the mix. Because otherwise it's just like there's no amount of I do have doubles. Ask for them to go up a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, then so I hear this is where we can play around a little bit, right? So, beautiful harmonies, by the way. Those are sitting in a really, really good spot. If the doubles are wide, that's still perfectly fine. I would also have one next to it. So it's just funny, like I would actually treat it like this, right? This is how like I'll treat like lead vocals sometimes with a double, where you have like your center lead vocal that's a little bit louder, and then a secondary double lead vocal right next to it, but it's a little bit quieter, just like holding up two fingers. Where you have one that's prominent, it's loud, it's compressed, it's forward, it's saturated, it's right in the middle of the mix like yours already is. And then a double right, like seriously like 3% off to the side and down by just a few dB, but it's very, very supportive of the lead vocal. Like you hear it as a double, it gives you a lot of power and a lot of weight. So even if you have something like that, perfect, push it forward by a couple dB. If you have some doubles on the outside, perfect, those will help support you during your hook as well. But I would definitely recommend making sure that vocal can compete. It's the hardest thing with rock, like and mixing rock vocals, is just making sure that you can compete with, you know, 6 guitars and, you know, 12 mics on a drum set and a heavy distorted bass and all, you know, all this extra stuff. That's tough. It's tough. So that'd be my last little recommendation is, yeah, as you go into mixing, make sure not only is it tracked, but make sure that it's presented in the mix as well as just being tracked, right? Like make sure that actually you get a double right next to that vocal that feels nice and strong. What's up? Welcome in. Razor, thank you for the follow. Nice track. It's a really nice track. Y'all, show some love. Show some love. Show some love. That is the family. I don't know either, Razor. I don't know. Shout out to Bree Square. Shout out to Andrew. Shout out to Healer, which is the band right here in the chat. I need everybody to go follow Healer. That is the band that y'all just heard. Go follow Healer, follow Bree, follow Andrew. It's the family right there. We love and appreciate y'all. Y'all are absolutely, absolutely amazing. Very, very talented individuals. Genuinely love and appreciate what you do. Y'all are very, very, very talented and prolific musicians and artists. So definitely keep doing what you're doing. I'm excited to hear this record as it gets built out. I'm really excited to hear as you build out your mix a little bit more so I can really distinguish those vocals and where they sit, because it's like the song is there. The song is there and it's a good song. It's a good structure. Musicianship is there. Not even a question about it. But what you're doing as far as like how the vocal presents in the mix, I'm craving that energy. So I hope we can get it out of the mix and really squeeze it out of the mix. Music Entrepreneur, I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for tapping in. I appreciate you. Okay, let's keep it moving. We got more music to listen to. We're going to close it up here probably in just a little bit. Same Razor, where you been, man? Where you been? Where you been? What are your thoughts on modelers? Are we talking about amp modelers? What are we talking about? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for that. What kind of modelers are we talking about? I use a little bit of a hybrid of both. If we're talking about amps, let me know. BRD, I got you in the chat. If y'all want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link. Ben, thank you for the follow. Emma Lynn, thank you for the follow as well. Do you receive songs so much as, yeah. So what we do, Music Entrepreneur, what we do here are 30-minute consultations. So these are typically about, I would say 25 to 30 minutes per song. We usually go through the song, I would say usually 2 or 3 different times. We break down mix, production structure, sound design, lyrics, song structure, get into formatting and stuff like that, in order to really build out the structure of their song. So most people send unreleased. People still, of course, send released stuff every once in a while, but the priority is just offering tools, tips, actionable feedback, really getting into the structural elements of their music prior to release, or if it's already released, going into their next releases. But yeah, people submit. All the details for that are at my profile. If you click on the link, if y'all ever want to see the line order minimum, stuff like that, it's always we're live on 3 different platforms right now. We're on Purple and Red app as well. You can check lines over there as well. Retrack, thank you for the rose. I just saw that. I don't know if that was earlier or not. Okay. Amp like Kemper Axe QC 100%. Yeah. I don't mind. So to me, it all shout out to Australia as well. I've been to Sydney twice. Australia is great. Y'all got too many scary animals over there. Too many poisonous things over there. BRD. But yeah, I've been to Australia twice and I loved it both times. It was fantastic. What part of Australia are you in? Yeah, as far as like modeling and stuff like that and modelers, I've nothing against them. I used both in different times. Melbourne. Yeah, shout out to Australia. Australia is cool. It's a cool place to be. If you ever get a chance to visit, I would definitely recommend it. I like modelers. I also like real amps. So like I use a combination here in the studio depending on what the song requires, right? So like I have a couple big, I have a Bugera tube amp in here. I've got a 410 Fender, like I've got a Fender DeVille tube amp in here. I've got a 1,000-watt kilo bass amp in here with a tube head. Like, so I have like real amps and that move a lot of sound. They create a lot of wind. They create a lot of energy. So if that's what I'm needing, if I'm needing something that has a lot of body, a lot of presence, I want to mic up the space. I want to mix that in. I want to actually like track and like mic up the amps. Then I have that. And then if I want to model, then I can use modelers as well, or use like I almost said Neuralink. What am I talking about? Neuro, whatever. You get it. You know what I'm talking about. Is Track Talk your app? Track Talk's just the name of the live stream. This is the name of the live stream. The Obsidian Key is my wife and I's media company. That's what kind of is the bridge over a lot of our other businesses. But Track Talk is just the name of this particular stream. Would you say modelers help you achieve unnatural tones, like heavily saturated tones? I mean, not any more than like good pedals and a good amp and stuff like that. Right on. I was like, damn. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for tapping in. Yeah, I mean, I think it just depends. Like being in the box is always going to give you more flexibility to an extent. But I've also plugged my guitar into synths. So I have a couple synths back here. I have a couple synths back here that I can route like external audio into. So I can like route, in like my Poly D back there, I can route my guitar into the Poly D and use the distortion circuitry, use the preamp in there, use the mix in. I can add, stereo Juno chorus in there. Like there's a lot that you could do that's interesting in analog that, same thing in the box. Like you can come up with some funky tones. So, I mean, it really just depends on like, what are you looking for? What are you trying to do? What is the easiest route for you to get there? So like I said, sometimes if I just need like a really simple, like, you know, really simple tone that's like straightforward tube driven, I'll probably just like plug into the Fender DeVille tube amp back there, crank it up because it's loud as hell. It's a powerhouse amp. Crank that up, feel the room a little bit more, get a little bit more energy. And then if I want something that's like maybe more progressive metal and gated and specific, then maybe I'll just run like a neural DSP or something like that. Any videos you do in the red app? If not, I know I need to. Well, right now my Poly D's broken. I need to get it fixed. I need to send it back to Sweetwater. It's got a bad distortion circuitry, which is inline, so I get no sound out of it right now. I've been trying to use it. I have some old videos that I'm posting of me using it, but it's driving me nuts. So I need to. I need to get it fixed. It's one of my favorite synths that I have here. I've got a bunch of them, and it's one of my favorites. I got to get it fixed so I can do it again. I think my mini log. I think the mini log I can do external audio too. So maybe I'll try it with that. That doesn't have the same circuitry, but I can still try it. All right. Well, we've got some more music to get to. Once again, if y'all want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, read through and follow the details. Ray, I appreciate you so much, man. Let's see. Miguel, welcome in as well. Y'all keep tapping the screen, share out the live with a few people. Don't forget to send your heart me. It really does help out the live stream. We got BRD in the building. BRD, let's get it. BRD, give me some details. Talk to me about your role in your music. Talk to me about production. Talk to me about mix. Let's get into it, man. Thank you. I appreciate you, Lorenzo. I appreciate you tapping in today. Thanks for joining the live. Yeah, feel free to ask questions. I work in both of those realms a lot, so I appreciate the questions, man. Thanks. All right, let's go, BRD. Let's get into it. All love. Thank you for the follow as well. All right, this is Brutally Honest by BRD. Let's get into it.
I just want you to know that I'm way too scared of the truth. So help me out and tell your stories filled with lies. Oh, I don't know why it hurts, but I guess that's part of the truth. The brutal
What's up, Harry? Welcome in.
eyes killing me inside. Here we go again, I can't believe it, this is typical. I'm the one who's mad, but in the end he tell me it's my fault. Time and time again I wonder how we even got this far. Giving up our sins, we make amends and back to bumper cars. Broken like your promises, compulsive like a G. Fell addicted to your smile and my heart would skip a beat. But the games you always played had me rolling in defeat. Now the tension has increased, gotta put you on the streets, yeah. The fuck? Now you're holding nothing back, admitting guilt. That I can handle it, but now I feel my judgment tilt. We got a problem, stupid bitch, I feel attacked.
What's up, Belle?
Confusion, I'm losing the catch insanity bothering. I wanted her to confess, I wanted her to accept that she's a mess. I regretted that she's the one to forget. But this is worse than a stretch, and all of those fictional tales. What a mess, you're a mess. I regret begging for answers. What the fuck? I just want you to know that I'm way too scared of
I like your performance, man. Good emotion, good projection. It's nice.
I don't know why it hurts, but I guess that's part of the truth. The brutal honesty is killing me inside. Thinking about the old days, wishing they were new ones. Files labeled memories, now they just intrusions. Started out as friends, took a shot at being new love.
What's up, Escape? Welcome in. How you feeling today?
Illusions. We begin the ruins, fuck it up for you and I decide it's brewing up the recipe for true man. Show related, screw in, we stuck with this confusion. Bitchy like pollution in the air, and there is no compare like yo. I let you put your heart out, I even let you in, but I can't get one word out, and now they're deep within. We spin this record around and round, but the story never ends. I think it's time I
Let's go. Let's go. I love it. I'm doing well. I'm tired, but I'm doing well.
want you to know that I'm way too scared of the truth. So help me out and tell your stories filled with lies. Oh, I don't know why it hurts,
Broken
but I
Sense, welcome
guess
in.
that's part of the truth. The brutal honesty is killing me inside.
Great song structure, great performance, man. This is nice. BRD, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Talk to me. Talk to me. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. Y'all show some love. That is BRD, Brutally Honest. The link that I have is SoundCloud, so I'm not sure if this is out yet. As far as I know, I just have the file here. Cam the Man, welcome in. Adley, welcome in as well. Let's run it from the top. I do want to make sure that he's here, though. I do want to make sure that he's here. He is in Australia, so he might be. I think it's 14 hours. 14 hours. Is it 14 hours ahead in Australia? I guess it depends on where, but something like that. Hey, it's catchy. It's catchy. It's catchy. I wonder if they had a jet. Let me see. Let me check my list. No. Oh, they're not. They're not in. Oh, they must have had to have jet for a second there. I mean, I like it a lot. I like it a lot, but they're not here. Well, okay. Let me double check a few things before I move on. I wanted to do. They might have just sent to play it and then went to sleep because it's tomorrow already for them. Ecosystem, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for tapping in. Yeah, no, they're not on the list. Dang. Well, I wish they would have been. Okay, well, let me yeah, super chill. Yeah, I mean they're great. Yeah, they're awesome. There was like one little thing I wanted to talk about. Honestly, they're really, really well established. I kind of wish loosely I'll say this one thing and then we'll move on. There's BRD. There he is. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. AJ Barrett, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Flemma, welcome in. I appreciate you. AGA's in the building. What's up, AGA? No, you're totally good. I was like, we're all vibing to it, and I was like, hey, it's a little quiet in the chat for a second. I finished it up. I was like, hold on. Where did he go? Okay, we're back. Okay, I really just wanted to, honestly, man, I don't know how much you heard. I don't know, but y'all please show some love to BRD. That was BRD's track right here in the chat. So show some love. Show some love. Show some love. The people love it. The people want more. I don't know if this is released. Let me know if this is released, BRD, or if it's just on SoundCloud right now. Let me know. Let me know. And I also wanted to get some info on like what you're doing for production, mixing, stuff like that. Like some of the. No, you're totally good. You're totally good. Okay, this is released on all platforms. Go stream it. Go add it to your playlist. Go like the track. Go follow on Spotify. All that good stuff. Show them some love and support. Show some support. We're going to go back through it. We'll chop through just a couple quick things. Honestly, it's great, man. Your quality is awesome. Your quality is really, really nice. So yeah, talk to me just briefly about like, it's all mixed by you on Logic. Fantastic. And then production. Is it like a YouTube beat BeatStars? Did you produce it yourself? So on and so on. Let me know. There's honestly just like one little thing that I kind of wish happened that you can kind of take into your future records. But honestly, man, it's mixed pretty damn well. Like it's pretty clean. It's pretty wide. You have good vocal layers. It's a nice, like clean, punchy production. I'm not mad at all. I think this is pretty well established, man. You should be proud of the work that you're doing. Let's run it from the top. You know the producer news every mess around with it. Okay, nice. Perfect. And then a quick reminder, y'all, we're probably going to close up here in just a little bit. I will be live again tomorrow. I would love to go live longer. It just kind of depends on what TikTok does and the algorithm and stuff like that. So I would love to be live again tomorrow after I finish up my projects in the morning up through lunch. I got to finish some other projects. So we might get through another couple songs. We'll just kind of see what happens. If you would like to submit your music for a consultation, go to my profile, click on the link, read through it, and follow the details. If you want to check the line, you can see them on the other platforms that we're live on. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. Yeah, this is nice, man. This is you're talented. I was saying earlier, I don't know if you heard it, but I like the way that you're emoting, your projection, vocal structure. I think is really, really well established. You're doing a great job, man. Is it Lil Lefty? Thank you so much for sorry, I can't read right now. Lil Lefty, thank you for tapping in on the purple app. I appreciate you. Good start off on the hook too. Levo, welcome in. Okay, here's the only. This is not even a correction, so I don't even want you to hear this as a correction. This is all done really well. It's very clean. I don't have too many complaints at all. I wish on these that you have in the background right there, I wish that you did more of like gang vocals versus a direct layer, because right now like you have a double track on the left and right. I think it's really, really well done. So it's established, I think, in a great space. Outcast, welcome in, good to see you. Love you, Cameron Lenny, thank you. Lefty, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate it. I've done a lot of work to get it somewhat decent, so I appreciate that. It's a direct layer right now, so all of your sound exactly like like it all is exactly the same on either side, or very, very close to it. I would love like another 2, 3, 4 vocals in there that are a little more and then like a little bit, one backed off the mic by 8 feet, one in the middle of the room, one with another friend of yours, one like a little bit different. I feel like it would sound a little bit less polished. Right now, it's clean. It's like 100% left, 100% right, super clean, super direct, right on the mic. It's just like an exact, separation right there, as opposed to like a more like natural energy coming out of that vocal. Once again, I don't even necessarily mean this as a correction. It's just like what my brain wants to hear. I think it still sounds fine. I think it still sounds great. It's still very energetic. But in the back of my mind, I kind of wishing that had a little bit more of like a natural layer to it that didn't feel too pointed, too polished. I think a gang vocal would be a great way to do that. Yeah. Makes sense. I'm the one who's mad, but in the good layers, good doubles, your in and outs, like your accent vocals are really well established as well. Like there's a lot that you're doing really, really well, BRD.
Can you tell me it's my fault? Time and time again, I wonder how we even got this far. Giving up our sins, we make amends and back to bumper cars. Broken like your promises, compulsive like a G. Fell addicted to your smile and my heart was skip a beat. But the games you always played had me rolling in defeat. Now the tension.
Vocal feels super full. It's got a lot of presence to it, a lot of body to it. Yeah. There's a lot I like about this, man. Good emoting, good like charisma and character as well. It's not monotonous as far as like the way that you're rapping, the way that you're emoting. Yeah. No, it sounds great, man. Ray, I appreciate you so much, man. That's love. I appreciate that. There's so much about this that I really enjoy. It feels really interesting. Like you're changing character, you're changing emotion, and changing, the inflections of your vocal there. It doesn't feel one note at all, man. It sounds really nice. Shout out to Galdiv. Let's go, B-boy. We're not playing popular artists right now, but I don't see people talk about them a lot. Teach me how to love like you. It's such a good song. It's such a fire song. If y'all have not heard Galdiv, they're fire. They have a bunch of great songs. Sounds good, Razor. I appreciate you, man. Anyways, B-boy, we're not listening to popular artists here. We're doing consultations for like underground artists and independent artists, but that's a great song. Go check it out. If you like kind of like lo-fi R&B stuff, you'll like it. Let's go, AJ. I'm losing the catch of sanity, Bobby. I wanted her to confess. I wanted her to accept that she's a mess. I regretted that she's a good balance too between rapped vocals and melodic vocals in the background as well. Jamal's in the building. What's up, Jamal? Good to see you, man. A good balance between like your rap vocals and melodic vocals and your layering as well. That gives you a lot of nice support and nice punch over the top as well. Again, there's a lot that I like. Again, I want to point this stuff out because I think you're doing it really well. And so I want everybody to be able to kind of search for some of those elements within their own music as well. What's up, Grady? Good to see you, man. And you have really good balance between your vocal layers and your lead vocal right there. Late night, Grady. Late night. We're working. I got off my projects a little bit late today, so I still wanted to get on for a bit. But this is worse than a stretch and all of those fictional tales. What a mess. You're a mess. I regret begging for answers. What the fuck? I just want you to know that I'm way too scared of the truth. Apollo, if you want to send, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through and follow the details there. So help me out and tell your stories filled with lies. I don't know why it hurts, but I guess that's part of the truth. The voodoo. You can tell, man. It's honestly, it's balanced really well. It's balanced really well. Honesty is killing me inside. Thinking about the old
days. Wishing
King
they
Whale,
were
thank you for the
new
follow.
ones. Files labeled memories, now they just intrusions. Started out as friends, took a shot at being you love.
Yeah, this is nice. Let me get to this last section here, man. Yeah.
Hard to say, but
You're doing a great job of moding. You're doing a great job of following through with your performance, of projecting well, good writing and lyric structure too, consistency within your moments, but also a couple different moments of cadence switches in there as well. You're doing a good job, man. This feels, this feels fairly polished, man. You should be really proud of the work that you're putting in. This is really, really nice. Let me push into this last section right here. Mix on the production is pretty clean as well. It feels nice and white, feels punchy.
I think it's time I close the doors to never hear your sins. To help me out and tell your stories filled with lies. Oh, I don't
It's just that one little, it's just that one little pocket right there that I want a little more energy out of, right? And like more of a gang vocal detune out of sync with that, out of time, out of sync a little bit, so that it feels a little bit more energetic. Just because that is a nice little punch of the song. Like the song itself dynamically is very consistent, right? There's some twists and turns in there, but it's largely the same level of vocal energy and register, same production structure kind of looped through. So it is just like one little moment. It's a nice little break of that energy. I don't mean to harp on it. I don't mean to hammer that home. The vast majority of this, man, is very, very nicely done. It's well mixed. It's well balanced. You have a good energy on your vocal takes too, man. So yeah, you should be proud, man. This is great.
why it hurts, but I guess that's part of the truth. The brutal honesty is killing me.
Absolutely tacky, 100%, all the time.
inside.
Killer. Awesome. Y'all show some love to BRD. Show some love to BRD. BRD official right here in the chat. That is their song, Brutally Honest. It is out on all platforms, so please go like the track, go add it to your playlist, go stream it on all DSPs or whichever DSP that you use. Go show it some love and support. Go follow on Spotify and other DSPs, all that fun stuff. This song is officially out on all platforms, so go show it some love. Jake, I appreciate you tapping in. If you would like to submit, Tacky, same with you. If anybody would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and then just read through it and follow the details there. We'll get you up in line for a consultation. So these are 20 to 30 minute multiple listen consultations where we're going to dive into the details of your music. Appreciate you so much, man. BRD, love from the US. Get me out of here. Love from the US, man. Appreciate what you do so much, man. You got a lot of talent, a lot of skill, man. But yeah, if anybody wants to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, read through and follow the details there. And we'll get you up in the line. Otherwise, I'm going to close here in probably just a little bit as well. So give me just a moment to double check a few things and we'll see. Hey, Darrell's in the building. What's up, Darrell? How you doing, man? It's good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing fantastic. What are you up to, man? What are you up to? I might be chilling. What's good, man? Good to see you. I hope you're doing fantastic. Sherwood Sounds in the building. What's up, Sherwood Sound? I appreciate you being here. All right, well, yeah, we're at least winding down. Maybe I'll chill for a second, but I also need to rest my ears. I've been listening to music all day. I've only been live for like 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours, but I was producing for like 7 hours today. It was a long production. It's gonna be a cool song, but it's a very long production. And then I got on for like 4 hours. And so my ears have just about had it. The 80s videos are my jam. Dude, if you want to hear 80s, hold on. Give me a sec. I'm gonna switch. You want to hear 80s? Listen to this record I'm working on right now. It's 80s. It's like straight up. Little late 80s, early 90s. Okay, give me a sec. It's gonna cut out because I don't have a vocal channel on this other session yet. I'll add one. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Okay, hold on. I just had to add this vocal on here real quick. So let me check. Let's see. Check 1 2. Hello. Welcome in, y'all. Encore, welcome in. I just had to switch. This is, I hate the way this sounds, but check 1 2. Bring this down. Encore, thank you for the cake slice. I wish I had a real cake slice right now, to be honest with you. To be frank with you, I wish I had a real cake slice right now. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. That's better. Now we're getting there. Now we're getting somewhere. Encore. We do consultations here, so these are like 25 to 30-minute consultations. Where we dive into the details of your mix and master, production elements, sound design, lyric and song structure. We listen to your track, instrumental, song, whatever it may be, usually 2 or 3 different times in order to get into the details of it, get into the nuances of it, and offer some actionable feedback and a detailed breakdown. But yeah, each breakdown that we do is about 20 to 30 minutes long. All the info is at my profile. I'd rather you be Torvik with me. Okay, so fine. All right, there's at least my vocal back, even though it's not exactly how I want it to sound, but it's whatever. I'm too picky. Okay, let me. This is okay. This is. I just started working on this, but I'm still. Kira, welcome in. Darrell with the hammer. Let's go, dude. Darrell, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Y'all show some love. Show some love to the family, man. Show some love to the family. Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate that more than you know, man. Thank you for the love. I will reset it. I'll update it here really quick. Y'all show some love to Darrell. Make sure that you're following Darrell. Tap in with him when he's live. Send him your music. Send him gifts. Send him money. Send him checks. Send him gold bars. I don't care. Send him some love and support, man. I appreciate you more than you know. Thank you for the love. That means a lot, man. Lisa, welcome in. Give me a second. Get this updated here, but man, I appreciate you a lot. That's a lot of love. So you send me good music. You know, I don't know. Send them stuff that's valuable. Send them valuable stuff. Sapphires. I don't know stuff. Okay, let me see. I never even worry about these. I probably should. It's probably like good for TikTok and stuff. I don't pay attention. Don't get the oh, that's fun. Let's just do one of those. Sapphires it is, man. Sapphires it is. Okay. Boom. All right. Yeah, okay. So this this is a raw. This is nothing on it. I don't even know if I have a master fader set up on here. Hold on. Let's go ahead and do that because I would like to at least get a limiter on the boosted parts here. So we'll toss an L1 on there just to have a little fun with it. We'll do a -1 ceiling. Precisely. And we'll just ooh, crispy. We'll do some ASMR. We'll do a little bit of ASMR. Okay, we don't need all that. Let's bring that back down. Okay. All right. Anyways, this is a super, I know, dude. This is the power of compression in a really high quality microphone. It brings everything to the front. All right, let's not do that. Anyways, I'll just show this really quick, a couple quick parts of this, just because this is this is fresh. It's got nothing on it. It's not a lot of the productions even on here. Nothing going on. But it's just you mentioned 80s. It's a super 80s record. Especially as we build into it. I still have a bunch of synths I need to track on it. Early 90s. Yeah. I'm gonna move forward here. It's a vibe. There's something about it. Second hook breaks down first, and then goes a couple different directions I'll get into, but it's fun. I love it so much. I love it so much. DX7 and the Juno on the bass. It's like none of this is even printed yet. I need to add. I still got some work to do. And then there's a little bit of a switch that I already have a vision for. It's gonna sound weird though, but we have to use our imagination here a little bit. Yeah, there's a DX7. There's a DX7 and a Juno 60. Major to minor to the second to the 4. And then we're gonna go to, this is gonna break down. We're gonna go a minor major push, and then there's gonna be a sax solo probably, and then a synth solo. Okay, sorry, the DX7 is nasty, dude. The DX7 is nasty as fuck. It's nasty. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna back it up a little bit. But I'll probably, no, not sax. It'll probably be a guitar solo and a synth solo. A guitar solo and a synth solo. After this, so there'll be 2 sections. We're doing it all here. We got a guitar solo, we got a synth solo, we have a key change. We're about to transpose this beat. So it'll be a synth solo over here, a funky synth solo. Woo! CMI sampler with the choir. Breakdown up. Key change. That's fun. It's just one of those like funky fun records, dude. Back to the hook again. It's nasty. I love it. Anyways, it's fun. It's fun. It's a good time. It's a good time. It's a good time. I like to have some fun. I'm working on a big ideally going to be pitched. There's a couple big projects I have coming up, and I'm going to have a huge catalog of 80s music, probably 20, 30 songs to be pitched for 80s, 80s shows, 80s movies, 80s commercials, and just, in general, stuff like that. So I have this and probably, another 20 projects that are all just kind of in the 80s vibe. So yeah, that's why y'all see me post a lot of 80s stuff, because that's what I love anyways. I got like 15 synths in here. I love synths. It's some of my favorite stuff. Dude, Terrell, thank you for the fireworks, dude. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate it a lot, man. But anyways, it's fun. That's early. I just started that today. I just started that a couple hours before I got on live. Anyways, but it's fun. I'm excited to build that out. Potentially get some vocals or something on there. It'll be fun. Y'all, that's gonna do it for today. I love and appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the support. Thank you for the love. Thank you for your generosity. I appreciate it so much. We're gonna be live again tomorrow afternoon after I finish my projects for the day. After I got to finish up another production tomorrow. Once I finish it up, I'll hop on live again. Love and appreciate y'all. Y'all are fantastic. You're amazing. I appreciate y'all a lot. Thank y'all for hanging out with us today and for, sending in your music, being, vulnerable with what you're doing. I really appreciate it, and I don't take it for granted. So we'll be back again tomorrow. Quick spiel before we hop off. For those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I am a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. That is what I do for a living. I've done that for the last 14 plus years. I'm also a classically trained pianist. So that is what I do. If you're ever in need of those services, if you need hardware hardware analog synths or VSTs, if you need live drums, if you need vocals, if you need electric bass or acoustic guitars, I have it all in here, and I do play those for a living. So if you need a full production package, if you need mix and mastering engineer services, anything like that, shoot me a message. Let me know. I'll do my best to we'll obviously see if it would be a good fit creatively, stylistically, and just as far as the relationship goes. And then of course we can talk budget and timeline down the road as well. I love y'all. I appreciate you a lot. Y'all have an amazing rest of your evening. And hopefully we'll see some of y'all tomorrow. Peace.